16 playoff victories, 2 coveted trophies, legions of devoted fans. And for 18 years, the Baltimore Ravens have chosen MedStar Health for their medical care. For generations, people across the region have trusted MedStar Health. We're proud to provide the same quality care to the Ravens and their fans, because there's power in trust. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
The $6 meal deal is here. It starts with Dunkin's legendary coffee, a toasty, melty bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and a crispy, crumbly order of hash browns. It's kind of the biggest deal in breakfast. The $6 meal deal, available now.
Tap into the sports market with Corrigan Sports Enterprises. CSE has put on hundreds of events throughout its history, and we possess the tools to give your company exposure in the sports industry. CSE has decades of experience helping great companies like Care First, Pandora, New Balance, and Toyota to put their best foot forward in the marketing space, as well as provide spectacular event management. Bring your dreams from conception to fruition at CorriganSports.com.
Baltimore is the most underrated environment in the entire NFL.
There's nothing like him on the planet.
We were on the mountaintop this year many times, and we were down in the valley. We all should be excited about where we're going and what we're building here.
Derrick Henry, the king is on his way.
Let's go! We are thrilled to announce that we've extended Justin Madubuike.
1, 2, 3.
It's the Cavalier Kickoff Classic at Archbishop Spalding, and the crowd is starting to swell because we got the WCAC Dematha squad coming up the road to visit Spalding, and the Cavaliers hosting as the MIAA squad. Dematha will be in white tonight, and they have a wealth of athletes. But when you talk about athletes, you talk about Malik Washington. We'll get to him. He is a star in the making, and he is on to the University of Maryland when he matriculates. Thanks for joining us here in the booth. Booker Corrigan alongside Brent Harris. Brent, what do you love about this matchup?
Everything, Book, everything. We have waited for this matchup. Star players on both teams, big-time coaches in both programs, two of the best programs in the area, and two conferences that really want bragging rights because they know that they could be one of the best teams in the state of Maryland when this season ends.
And we got a couple dozen NFL players that'll be watching because they went to these schools. I mean, that's the talent level that we're looking at, D1 talent on this field.
Not only NFL, but you're talking about a lot of kids playing on this field tonight are going to go on to play in the NCAA Division I. And big schools, certainly the University of Maryland, well represented here as well.
Oh, yeah. And let's thank Dunkin' Donuts for giving us our players to watch tonight. There's so many of them, but we did find a way to narrow it down to 4. Who do you love?
Well, let's start with a Maryland commit in Bud Combs, the running back for Dematha. He's going to be a Terp next year. Runs a 4.4 40. He is dynamic out of the backfield. 5'10", 195, plays much bigger than his size. Noah Chambers, linebacker for Dematha, number 6, senior. He's a 3-star linebacker committed to go to Virginia Tech. He is the catalyst of that defense for the Stags. For Spalding, Book, you got a couple of guys. Aaron Igwebe, 8 touchdowns last year at the wide receiver position. He's only a junior. And Sean Johnson on the defensive side, he's only a junior, and he's got a ton of offers so far. Maryland, Oregon, Tennessee, both sides of the football for Spalding. Very, very talented, but we didn't even get to the main talent, the guy we're all here to see, and that's the quarterback for the Cavaliers.
Malik Washington is certainly a talent. We have the opening kickoff on the other side of this, and don't go anywhere because this is going to be talent, skill, coaching, and the fans are already packing this joint.
For more than 25 years, the Ravens flock has rocked the bank, leading to an atmosphere that rivals any sports venue in the world. And last season, the NFL took notice.
Baltimore is the most underrated environment in the entire NFL.
I have never seen an environment like the bank.
Now, to ensure that it stays that way, the next evolution of M&T Bank Stadium has begun. Learn more at BaltimoreRavens.com/renovations.
The 2024 Baltimore Ravens Coach of the Week, presented by the Baltimore Sun.
For 10 weeks during the regular season, the Ravens will honor a high school coach who has made significant impact on their student athletes. This award is in its 27th year of existence. All 10 Coach of the Week winners receive a $2,000 donation to their school's football program and will be in the running to earn Ravens High School Coach of the Year. The 2024 Coach of the Week program will begin during the week of September 9th.
This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. You're not the next Tom Brady. You're the next you. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who knows that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. Sincerely, Tom. You wrote this. Yeah.
On Wednesday, September 4th, girls flag high school football will kick off across Maryland. The Ravens and Under Armour sponsored initiative will launch in a coordinated first day of play for various counties and schools. Each of the 53 participant teams from Baltimore City, Frederick, Montgomery, and Washington counties will all be in action throughout the day. Ravens Entertainment will join the newest girls flag high school athletes, their coaches, and community in a celebration of the initiative as the beginning of the 8-week season kicks off.
It is the Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown, and it is an absolute pleasure to see them at the center of the field for the coin toss. Dematha in white, Archbishop Spalding in red. And Brent, how do you calm the nerves of these young men? How do you calm the nerves?
I tell you, I mean, this is a huge stage. 3,000 plus tickets have been sold. This place is packed, and it is two powerhouses going head to head here tonight in Dematha and Archbishop Spalding. But what I will say is for Spalding, they played last week, so they've gotten some of those, nerves already out. They played a powerhouse team on the road, and they got a good win against Archbishop Hoban in Ohio out of Akron, one of the top teams every year nationally. So they get one win under their belt. Now they come home. Dematha travels over to Archbishop Spalding. They've got to play on the road in their opener, and I think maybe the nerves will be a little bit more on that side of the field, right, at least to start.
Great respect before the game. Of course, you see the Dunkin' Donuts mascots here, Pose here. The Ravens cheerleaders are here. There's Ravens players. Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers is in attendance. Everybody is fired up about this game tonight. Here's Dematha coming out of the tunnel, fired up, fireworks going. And it's just a thrill for a high school kid to be able to experience something like this. There's Archbishop Spalding, head coach Kyle Schmidt. What a great, great person he is. And of course, Coach McGregor for Dematha, no slouch himself. But these teams are jacked, and there you see Poe. The way the Ravens do this, and Adam Riddell does such a great job. Shamar Gray, such a great job of coordinating all this. Look at the stands behind. We always like to see the cheerleaders and make sure that they're doing their job because they are hyped. They've already done 17 cheers, by the way. This house is bouncing. The Ravens donate thousands of dollars to both programs' athletic departments. This is the Ravens have hit the nail squarely on the head with this. And now we are going to join your national anthem in progress.
On Wednesday, September 4th, girls flag high school football will kick off across Maryland. The Ravens and Under Armour sponsored initiative will launch in a coordinated first day of play for various counties and schools. Each of the 53 participant teams from Baltimore City, Frederick, Montgomery, and Washington counties will all be in action throughout the day. Ravens Entertainment will join the newest girls flag high school athletes, their coaches, and community in a celebration of the initiative as the beginning of the 8-week season kicks off.
This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. You're not the next Tom Brady. You're the next you. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who knows that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. Sincerely, Tom. You wrote this.
Tap into the sports market with Corgan Sports Enterprises. CSE has put on hundreds of events throughout its history, and we possess the tools to give your company exposure in the sports industry. CSE has decades of experience helping great companies like Care First, Pandora, New Balance, and Toyota to put their best foot forward in the marketing space, as well as provide spectacular event management. Bring your dreams from conception to fruition at CorriganSports.com.
The 2024 Baltimore Ravens Girls Flag Coach of the Week. For 10 weeks during the regular season, the Ravens will honor a high school girls flag coach who has made a significant impact on their student athletes. This award is in its first year of existence. All 10 Flag Coach of the Week winners will receive $2,000 towards their school's football program and be in the running to earn Ravens High School Flag Coach of the Year. The Ravens 2024 Girls Flag Coach of the Week program will begin during the week of September 6th.
Oh, it's always great to hear the anthem. You never know when you're going to hear your last one. The sports world finds a way to come together. We lost Johnny and Maddie Goudreau in a tragic accident, so God bless their families and anybody who's going through a health struggle. But now it's time for football, Brent. It is time for two teams that have been waiting for this day. MIAA against the WCAC. Alums are tuned in. NFL players, as I said in the open, I mean, they're glued. This is it.
Dematha ranked number 4 in Maryland. They're number 32 right now, Max Preps in the country. Spalding is ranked number 2 in Maryland. They're ranked 35th in Max Preps in the country. And you're talking about two of the premier programs in Maryland. And this place is packed, over 3,000 fans. And I can tell you a lot of Dematha fans have made that 20-mile drive over from Hyattsville and packed into this stadium here tonight to see what is going to be an awesome ball game.
And this is going to go down, WCAC against the MIAA. The conferences squaring up against each other. Great for Spalding to set up the Cavalier Kickoff Classic. Dematha will be in the whites. They are kicking off. And it is Alex Amaya, the 200-pound kicker, lefty, sent it deep. And Spalding will be in the red. It's a touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10. And now we get to see him.
Yeah, number 4, Malik Washington, the senior quarterback, has been fantastic. Opened with a win, Spalding over Archbishop Hoban. Washington had 3 touchdown throws, ran another one in. Fantastic way to start the season.
1st and 10 from their own 20. They start 2 running backs, 2 receivers split to the right, motion right. Washington hands off inside, and that is stuffed. It's going to be a tough night in there on the inside of the interior line.
Just hammered by Noah Chambers, who shot through the gap, the senior linebacker. We highlighted him in the open book. He is the leader on that defense. Virginia Tech commit coming up with a huge play.
Antonio Ledbetter, number 6, do some big-time running, as will Aaron Wiebe. Here's Washington, looks to pass first, knocked down. Great defensive effort. Number 4, Darryl Carey. And as you may be able to guess, we are in the coaching booth as well.
Yeah, Carey made a great play and just read the eyes of the quarterback and jumped up to knock that one down. The junior running back playing on the defensive side as well.
3rd and long. This is where Washington seems to be at his best. As an athlete and a football player, looks right down the middle, intercepted after being tipped. No, incomplete. Ball in and out of the hands, and that'll bring up 4th and long. And they're almost lucky to have 4th and long there, Brent.
Yeah, it would have been a first down. Completion goes in and out of the hands. The defender almost had it. Instead, we have 4th down, and Spalding unable to really do much on offense with the opening possession.
There you see the hand get in, and then he almost able to get away. Look at the booming punt fielded by Dematha's number 8, Jermaine Minnis. Or was that 9? Excuse me, that was 9, Mark Beasley.
Yeah, senior Carl Leffer on the special teams for Spalding made a nice play with a tackle around the waist to bring him down.
And there you get the stands. They are going nuts.
You know, we talk about Malik Washington, the quarterback for Spalding. Denzel Gardner is a 4-year starter for Dematha. He has a lot of experience. Number 1, he's a senior quarterback. He is committed to Marshall University, so Dematha in good hands with a guy who's had a lot of snaps behind center.
And number 2, Bud Combs. Bud Combs. Not to be confused with the great Bugs Combs. Comes to his right. High snap handled. And now we got chaos ensuing. The ball popped free there.
Well, I'm surprised the referees did not whistle. He was clearly, his forward momentum stopped, and they allowed that play to go on and on. They were trying to strip the ball from Gardner.
Yeah.
Good job holding on to it.
Denzel Gardner, as you mentioned, going to Marshall, and then comes probably the number 1 ranked baseball player in the entire country. It'd be interesting to see how that evolves for his career. But Dematha now 2nd and 11. Here's Gardner looking right, throws on the slant pattern and completes it. An absolute dart to LeVar Keys. Keys makes the catch in traffic. That's gutsy.
Yeah, LeVar Keys, what a great route. Just hitting the seam hard. The wide receiver, 5'11", 185, showing his quickness. And what a job by Gardner finding him on the slant.
Gardner again back in the shotgun. Inside handoff comes jitterbugs and gains about 3.
Yeah, nice break in the tackle there. Could have been a loss of a couple. Instead, at least a pickup of some positive yardage for Combs.
And you talk about the multi-sport athletes, and I'll take it forever. It's a great way to experience a lot of different things.
You don't see a lot of two-sport athletes going to college, but he's going to play baseball and football at Maryland, which is just awesome.
Another inside handoff comes pounding, but the defense for Spalding, a host of Cavalier tackler jumping in on it.
They're really good up front, Spalding, with that defense. They run a 3-5-5 set. And they feel like they can get pressure with the 3 guys up front. Their linebackers are physical and fast. Their main goal, like a lot of teams, you stop the run first, make your opponent one-dimensional.
Nice look at Jaden Ships right there, number 7 for the Cavaliers. On a beautiful night for football. Here's Gardner back to pass, looking down the right sideline, lets it go deep, and a flag will fly. A lot of hand fighting right there, and then it became body fighting. And
yeah, Ben Lagori had his hands all over the receiver. And look, the referee was literally right in front of the play.
We'll wait for the call, but I think we all know pass interference on the defense. And you really don't like it, Brent, when the first big play of a game is a penalty, but we can't control everything, right?
Well, LeVar Keys on the outside is a guy that has 4.340 speed, right? And sometimes the only way to slow him down is to get a handful of jersey.
You are 100% right there, brother. And you saw in the replay, great work by the camera crew, picking up he almost spun him around one way and then tried to spin him the other way.
You can't teach speed, right? I mean, what a great athlete. It's going to be tough to handle.
Gardner shotgun. Fakes the handoff that comes, and now they have a man on the outside. Little hop skip, and no luck. And that is Darrell Carey, 210 pounds, 6'4". And if he can get some space, he might be able to punish somebody.
Yeah, big frame, big body, a guy that can break tackles on the outside, and they had one-on-one, so if he has the opportunity, a lot of times he can break something and get a little extra yardage.
Second and 10 for the Dematha Stags. Gardner Gives it off to Combs. Combs again just finds a way to go forward. I don't know if we've mentioned it yet. Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers, Ravens players in attendance tonight, along with Poe, along with a host of cheerleaders and the entire support crew that we have for the...
It's funny, anytime we get the Ravens players coming out for these games, they always really enjoy it. You know, Friday Night Lights, tonight it's Saturday Night Lights, but primetime football, those guys enjoy this atmosphere.
3rd and 8. Again, inside to Combs, stacked up momentarily to tackle the forward, and that's going to make it decision time. It'll clearly be 4th and 5, and the field goal unit looks to be taken to the field.
Yeah, Alex Amaya comes in. Chance for what looks like a 27-yard field goal, but this is a kid that's a big foot.
And he's 6 foot 200.
Yep, he's a transfer, so his first year with Dematha, it's a guy that can stretch it 45, 50 yards. So a chip shot for him here at 27.
And he pounds it through. 3-0. Dematha Stags as the visiting team. How important, Brent, is it for them to get the first points on the board as a visitor?
You know, we mentioned how many Dematha fans are here, right? It is loud, it is jam-packed here at Spalding, but it is still a mostly Spalding crowd. You see a lot of the red and white in the stands. It is huge for Bill McGregor's ball club to get the first points. They had a great stop in the first drive that Spalding had. They picked up only a couple of yards. They get the ball, they march it down the field, get a field goal. It's a huge confidence builder for sure.
Big confidence builder for the road team. And then you mentioned Coach Bill McGregor. By golly, could he be more complimentary of his staff? We're on the phone with him, and the first thing he says is, my staff does everything. I love these guys.
Coach McGregor said he's got the best staff in the entire country. He's got 20 coaches on the field and a couple up here in the booth as well, but he has a lot of support, great guys. A lot of these guys played for the program. They've played college football, pro football, so a lot of experience on this Dematha coaching staff.
A massive crowd here. Spalding doing a great job. And of course, Corrigan Sports Enterprises bringing your dreams to life from conception to fruition. They do an amazing job. Kick once again out of the end zone as we anticipated.
Yeah, it's tough to get any big returns in special teams if you can't get your hands on the football. So far, special teams in favor of Dematha.
There's your Ravens cheerleaders. And that's just 2 of the 10 that showed. They're everywhere. And they are excited about being here. They're doing a little aerial work right now. Something they would never ask me to help with. Thank you. Malik Washington back in the shotgun. And they are ready to go. Motion to the left, handoff inside. Gain of a good solid 5. And that was Ledbetter on the carry. I like the way he runs that ball.
Yeah, last week he had 114 yards and 23 carries. He gets a big dose of the rock in the run game.
Yeah, there he goes again. Slams it in for about a yard, but that's going to give him 3rd and 4 with Malik Washington at quarterback. 3rd and 4 is not as awful as it would be for some other teams. You're still going to move the chains, brother. One
good thing about being up here in the booth with the Dematha defensive coordinator so close, I have an idea what's being called on the field.
So, as do our viewers.
Offsides.
Dematha jumps. And they're high school kids. They're fine. That happens.
Yeah, James Pace, 6'4", 220 on the end there. And sometimes early you're trying to figure out the cadence and the count and maybe get an advantage. So a lot of times you'll see somebody jump early in a game, but that's them trying to time it up.
They're high school athletes trying to do their best. And believe me, if you can do better than them, you can complain. But I doubt it, looking at these 2 squads. Washington now shotgun 1st and 10 from his own 32. Drops back, quick pass off to the left, and they mistimed it. Tried to get Miles McCaffey.
Yeah, just behind McAfee. They call him Scrap. Really didn't have a shot at hauling that one in. What a great opener from McAfee, who had 3 touchdown catches in that win last week against Tobin.
No relation to Pat McAfee. And Washington in the shotgun, 2nd and 10, inside handoff, and there's some room and some shucking and jiving. He's breaking ankles like Kathy Bates out there.
Nice second effort, too, by Ledbetter. Picked up another, 3-4 yards on that one. It's also an old school reference.
The Kathy Bates?
Yeah.
I'd like to keep you on your toes.
I could say once you hit 50, like I have hit 50, I get it. I get the reference.
Some folks are going to have to hit Google on that
Sub
one.
40, though, I don't know.
Here's Washington, fakes it, then gets it off quickly and cleanly. And that's going to be another first down for Spalding, and the home crowd's into it. Not that they were ever out of it, but it's starting to happen right now for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and it's Spalding picking up the pace, too, on offense.
And they are now scrambling. Dematha defensively, subbing guys in and out. Great hustle play by David Ledbetter. They got a couple Ledbetters on this squad. And we're going to get, as you can hear, a timeout called from the defensive coordinator from up in the booth.
Yeah, Dino Campbell does a great job at DC for Dematha. And clearly the personnel they wanted to change out, and the pace was getting quick.
Great matchup, Dematha Spalding.
You know, this might be the last time I'm going to play football. You know, I started playing football in high school, you know, and that's where I got my dog in it. So for y'all, like, take this for, like, what it is, man. Go out there and really try to be a dog out there and beat them boys over there, you know. They don't got y'all. They don't got what y'all got. For. And if you take it like that, you're going to be thrashing, you know. You know, do everything you can to make this, you know, meaningful. Look at that dog, right? You hear me?
Great last look at that schedule we have coming up. And there's your crowd. And it is swelling. It is beyond capacity. Hey Brent, don't tell the fire marshal. He would shut this down. Spalding breaks the huddle, and they are ready to go here. 2nd and 1. Washington, always dangerous, tucks it, and he wants to go deep and does down the side. Oh, great defense by Dematha there to converge on the ball.
Yeah, Terry Dorsey got his hands on it last second, and you know, the flick by Washington's almost effortless and nearly had himself a 45-yard touchdown pass, but great defense by the Stags.
And it's great observation by you. He really looked casual, flicking that ball 40 yards.
There's a lot more in that arm.
Yeah, it's probably about 45. But it was effortless. Washington, inside handoff, they got to get the first, and they do. And look at the linemen piling, just pushing forward. They want to gain yards. Huge props to number 60, Gavin Loop, the offensive lineman for Spalding, doing a nice job. As we see Antonio Ledbetter, he gets it, pounds it, and stacked up.
No, it's a very young offense for Spalding. Just one senior offensive lineman, no seniors on the skilled positions. Their only real senior, Malik Washington, at quarterback under center, but for the most part, very young team on the offensive side.
David Ledbetter over here, he's getting some respect. They're double covering him. They go to the opposite side, and another big gain. Spalding, they are gobbling up chunks of yards right there. Cam Miller on the receiving end. Look at the athleticism. It's just everywhere on the field.
Yeah, you talk it's chunks at a time, but this is a Spalding offense that can hit you on big plays as well. Averaged over 350 yards a ball game last season.
3rd and 1. Washington fakes it, gets tackled after gaining 5, so it'll be 1st and 10s. Chains moving.
Yeah, very calm, very confident quarterback. 22-3 as a starter, Malik Washington, and you can see not phased here early in this ball game, taking control on this drive.
It's almost like he's thriving in this setting. 3,000 people, televised game, flicks it down the sideline, in and out of the hands of number 17, Miles McAfee.
My goodness, that would have been the 4th touchdown connection on this young season. I cannot believe that McAfee dropped that ball, the sophomore wide receiver. That was 6. What a move coming out.
A little stomp and go. Hit him in a bad spot.
Had the defender beat.
That's unfortunate for them. 2nd and 10. Washington fakes it, and he is bottled up. Maybe, but not so much. Maybe, I don't know. Because Malik Washington knows good and well. He left the jag, and he took the rolls. If they ain't cutting, you put him on foot patrol.
So smart in this option play to hold on to the football. The running back got drilled by 2 defenders. Washington kept it. He's slippery coming out of the backfield to the right side. By the time Dematha realized that Malik Washington had the football, he was gone. 2nd rushing touchdown of the season.
Did it look as easy to you as it did to me?
It did, but it was set up by the play fake. It was set up by the fake. Dematha bid on it, and Washington made him pay.
Without question. I cannot wait to see this replay because he reads it so well.
He had 6 rushing touchdowns last year. He's already got 2 this year. Truly a dual-threat quarterback.
And that's something that's really going to help him when he arrives at College Park.
You can't tell me that Terps fans seeing this don't get a little excited about Malik Washington.
There it is.
He's going to be playing just down the road for the Maryland Terrapins next season.
I got news for you, folks. If this were two-hand touch, he still would have scored. He went untouched.
Yeah, first team All-Metro, and you know, they made a big deal about him picking Maryland. He had a lot of schools he could have gone to, and he had said that Maryland just felt like home, and he is excited to be playing at home, where his family and friends, and obviously even his classmates here at Spalding, can watch him play on Saturdays.
Great shot of the Spalding cheerleaders wearing jersey numbers. How great is that?
Reminds you a little USC. They kind of have a USC kind of cheerleading.
I like the numbers. Yeah. I've never seen that before. This is an awesome environment right now.
By the way, look, the Maryland Terrapins have not won a conference title in football in 22 years. And they think maybe this kid's the one that's going to get them over the top.
We can only hope. Deep into the end zone is the kick. Can't take it out. Cooper Welch doing the honors, number 14 for Spalding. Pounds it deep into the end zone.
Funny thing, too, about this game, and we say there's probably a lot of Maryland Terrapin fans that would want to tune in and watch. There's a lot of Terp commits in this game. There's 3 Terp commits for Spalding. In addition, you have White and Ships on defense, and, of course, Bud Combs, the running back for Dematha. They'll be teammates next year in college.
Now Dematha, 1st and 10 from their own 20. As we are 7-3 Spalding. And that offense is Spalding. When it works, it works. Denzel Gardner, quarterback for Dematha, headed to Marshall. Quick handoff, run to his left. Pounding tackle after a gain of about 7.
Eli Lee, 6 foot, 200-pound running back. He's a junior.
And Brent, I know this is high school football. This is big boy football.
Oh, no doubt. Just look at the guys up front and the size of the offense and defensive linemen in this ball game.
And the tight ends. Half the receivers are 6'2", 210.
No, we said this is a heavyweight showdown. The number 2 team in Maryland and the number 4 team in Maryland.
And there you see the crowd. They are getting their money's worth. Thank you so much to Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown.
You know, this might be the last time I'm going to play football. You know, I started playing football in high school, you know, and that's where I got my dog in it. So for y'all, like, take this for, like, what it is, man. Go out there and really try to be a dog out there and beat them boys over there. You know, they don't got y'all. They don't got what y'all got. For it. And if you take it like that, you're gonna thrash them. You know, do everything you can to make this, meaningful. Go get that dub. You hear me?
And that was Jaden Ships, number 7 for Spalding, who was the injured player. Dematha, 2nd and 4. Denzel Gardner flings it out to his right side. And they just can't get through that defense. And now one of the officials is down. Carmen Dijon Domenico gets knocked to the turf. Sometimes those back judges get in a tough spot. He's up. He's a hockey player.
Yeah, there is a blind side for the officials as well. Good to see him smiling.
He's laughing.
Got to be tough to be on the field.
Kyle Schmidt goes over and gives him a little how about.
Oh, we got blocked into him.
Yeah, and we're not going to point any fingers, but there's some pushing and shoving.
Multiple players.
Yeah, multiple. 3rd and 4 for Dematha. This is a big defensive play for Spalding. Big offensive play for the Stags. Gardner shotgun. Motions a man to his left. Keeps it, goes right up the middle, and how do you do? First down, Dematha. The Stags, and Denzel Gardner gets up and points it out.
Yeah, dual threat. We talked about him going to Marshall next year. You know, he turned down a bunch of other offers. Princeton, Dartmouth, by the way.
Yeah.
These are all the Ivy League. Smart kid there that Dematha has running the show quarterback.
Gardner goes down and ties his shoe for a quick sec. Comes up, no worse for the wearer. Pops up and he's looking, and he's going to go down deep in his own backfield. That is just great defensive pressure.
Yeah, the linebacker, Logori, is a senior, shoots the gap, quickness to get to Gardner, and he's not an easy guy to take down at 6'2", 200, but great job there by the Spalding defense. Drew up the right play.
Ben Logori came in almost untouched, and we get a great look at this replay. Yeah, there he is. Runs over the running back and holds on and don't let go. And now it's 2nd and a country mile for the Stags. Oh, what a great completion. Gardner stays in the pocket. And it's all good. Great play by Dematha's number 10, Gilberto Jones. 6'5", 220.
Yeah, I'm impressed by the quick release. Denzel Gardner kind of reminds you a little bit of Patrick Mahomes. When he lets it go, it's a flick. Sometimes it's sidearm, sometimes over the top, but he is on target.
And it was such a long 2nd down play. It's still 3rd and 1. And now we get a stoppage. Whistles blowing, and we get a timeout called by, end of the quarter. We had a late timeout there. The first quarter comes to an end, 7-3, Spalding, the home team in the lead. This is the Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown Cavalier Kickoff Classic. What a football day.
This fall, purple rises when the Baltimore Ravens debut their Purple Rising alternate helmet in 2024. The first ever Ravens alternate helmet features a metallic purple rising painted shell, making the model just the 3rd helmet version to be worn by the Ravens since the franchise's 1996 inception, and the first non-black helmet. Don't miss the debut of the new purple alternate helmets on Thursday, November 7th, as the team takes on the Cincinnati Bengals in a division clash on Thursday Night Football. Tickets are available at BaltimoreRavens.com/tickets.
7-3 Spalding. at Spalding. A beautiful night for football. And it is 3rd and a half a yard for Dematha. I almost would just give them the first down. I mean, I know.
Yeah,
what's right.
Or go under center for a quick quarterback keeper.
Yeah.
And a bad snap.
Gardner handles it. See if he can make something of it. Throws it away wisely. They still have 4th and... He had a guy that's not grounding. That's a great, heady, smart play.
Yeah, could have
no wonder
lost.
He had so many Ivy League offers.
Could have lost, about 12, 15 yards. Instead, at least you have it 4th and 1.
Oh, and they're going to punt it. Interesting. Very interesting.
Well, the two teams kind of feeling each other out in the first quarter, and maybe head coach Bill McGregor feels this could be a close ball game down the stretch, right? Every possession is going to count.
And you talk about Bill McGregor. We were on the phone with him for half an hour. He could not stop talking about how much he loves his staff and how he lets them run their things. And he also talked about the great Danny Crowley and how much he loved coaching him back in his time at Dematha. And
I thought his knee was down.
So
it was.
That's
the old
unfortunate.
Danny Crowley was a quarterback at Dematha, went on to star. He was a big-time player at Towson State University. Back that was Towson State. Went on to play in the CFL as well, and I had a chance to see a lot of his careers. I was a classmate while he was at the Tigers, and then I was on the radio booth during the CFL days as well. But Danny, a great guy. He's here tonight.
Yeah, we're hoping to get him to stop by. Coach McGregor was effusive in his praise of Danny Crowley as a player and a person, and how he wants to get him back into that program.
The one thing about Coach
Danny's awesome.
McGregor in that conversation is he has just as much enthusiasm in year 33 as he did when he first took over and started coaching high school football. It is amazing.
Yep.
And he has the 2nd most wins all time in the state of Maryland. High school football, a legendary coach, and Hall of Famer. You can't say enough of great things about Bill McGregor.
You're right, because I was taking notes on the conversation, and I kept writing down, what is this guy so fired up about?
Life.
It was like Wednesday.
Life.
Yeah. Washington flicks it out to the side, handled and grabbed it. Gain of about 4. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
The gain of 4.
And we now have from deep in their own territory after the punt was unable to be returned. They started on their own 11-yard line. Washington looks to pass and gets it knocked down again. Same time, James Pace has knocked down 2 passes, although he looks like he's hurt on the play. He hustled off the field. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but they're taking him behind the bench. And right away, I don't know how they could lose yards on that, but...
Good defensive stand by Dematha, forcing him to 3 and out.
Fair catch called for and made easily by Dematha's Jacob Wallace. And it'll be Dematha possession with 10:31 to go in the half. And 2 amazing high school football teams. And we can't say it enough how many D1 football players are on this field, D1 athletes.
Yeah, guys that are going to be playing at the next level. Coach McGregor was so proud of some of those Dematha alums. Got 8 current Dematha alums that are in the NFL, made the 53-man rosters. A lot of pride in this program for the Stags, and maybe the biggest cheerleader of all is head coach Bill McGregor.
Agreed 100%. Another great handling of the snap and a pass down the right sideline. Gardner, impressive with everything he does. Pass handled that time by number 14, Brendan Newman.
It was close to being a late hit down the right sideline.
They were looking at it and kind of shrugged him off. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Stags. Inside Spalding territory. Here's Gardner from the shotgun, and now we get procedural violation. And it's going to be against him at 15.
It'll make it first and 15.
Dematha has to call a whole new sequence. Plays here. Gardner. So comfortable, comes to his right. Combs gets around the left side, but doesn't gain very much at all.
Yeah, close to the line of scrimmage, or maybe about a yard short of that.
It's a gain of 2. It'll be second and 13.
Nice shot of that Spalding defensive core, and all they do. 44, Mikel Oliver, senior defensive lineman, along with number 30, Delmar White, also a senior.
Yeah, that Archbishop Spalding defense, they got 4 Division I players in the secondary. Very talented ball club defensively.
Quick throw to the outside, little wide receiver screen, and you talk about 4 Division I players in the secondary, they were in on the tackle. That is well called by you, Coach Harris.
It's been tough to kind of open it up, throwing the ball downfield, right? And, you know, Ships, the corner, he's going to go to Maryland and joining Washington. And it is a talented ball club all around. Washington gets a lot of the headlines, but you can't sleep on this Spalding defense.
Gardner looks at the sideline to see for a check down, and it is 3rd and 10. Gardner deep down the left sideline, has a man open, and the ball pops up, deflected, and incomplete down the far side. Intended for carry, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Eli Best defensively, and just a sophomore. Really good timing. Looked like he might have been beat by a step or 2, but as the ball started to descend, he was there and just timed it up and got his hand in there to break it up.
And we get a field goal attempt we're lining up for. This will be a 51-yarder by my math. 50.
Yep, 51-yarder. And, you know, pregame he was hitting them 53, and in a scrimmage for Dematha, he had a 50-yarder as well. This guy's got a big foot.
Yeah.
Remind you a little bit of Sebastian Janikowski, a little bit bigger, husky, and a big left foot. 51, it's going to be short.
Should Spalding have put a player back there?
Could have on a return, but the one thing is Spalding now gets pretty good field position, right, instead of punting the football there or even going for it. But Coach McGregor felt like it was an opportunity, and you know, this is a kid that can hit from long range, and if it comes down to a final play, I don't think he'll hesitate to put him on the field.
Agree 100%. As you see that great Dematha sideline, so much talent. Their practice has got to be just more intense than anything I would
imagine. Yeah, imagine it gets pretty physical.
Trying to earn your spot. Handoff up the inside, and the Cavaliers get a great run out of Antonio Ledbetter. He's going to move the chains, and right now, Spalding's going no huddle. They got Dematha scrambling a little bit. Still not set as they snap the ball. Oh, and what a gutsy little run by number 3, Cam Miller.
And what out of Spalding is they will pick up the pace and go quick.
Exhibit
an experienced quarterback to do it. They certainly have that in Lake Washington.
And we are knee-deep into the second quarter here. 7-3 Spalding in the lead. Washington gets it off, but throws it. I can't tell if he caught it or not.
He hauled it in.
Yeah. That's a great one-handed catch. I can't wait to see the replay because we got the best camera crew in the game right now.
Sets up a 3rd and short.
And are we going to get it? Because he went down low to get, here it is. Here you see Washington checking both sides. And we have time to watch it. They're in the huddle. And it's low, and he just finds a way to get his hands underneath the ball. Great catch. And I'm sure the Spalding coaches were helping the official with the...
I don't think he got it.
Third, and it's going to be 4th and half a yard from the 50-yard line.
I don't think he got it.
It's 4th down.
And here's a look at that pass from before. You see it actually touched the ground. You can see right there, he gets it with his right hand and then traps it.
Should have been incomplete.
The referee is right there looking at it.
And it set up a 3rd and short, now a 4th and inches, but that was a good, 4 or 5 yard play.
And I told you we had great camera crew. That was interesting.
Well, you're saying it to me like I didn't believe you. I'm on board, Book. I'm on board. Great crew. Come on.
So, great camera crew. I cannot believe that we discovered that ball touched the ground. Just nicked it.
Just nicked it. 4th and inches, right at midfield. Defensive coordinator Dino Campbell called a timeout, wanting to set up something special here, maybe get a stop at midfield, get the ball back for the Stags with just a little over 7 minutes left here in the second quarter.
So we are 4th and 4 inches.
I've got it at 6.5 inches, Book. 6.5.
And you got Washington, and they pound him forward. It's the Philly brotherly shove.
Big boys up front just kept pushing, and Malik Washington followed. Got a little help too from the running back, and just fantastic effort to keep the chains moving.
And here goes Spalding once again. They love jamming up in the middle. They keep that Dematha defense honest.
David Ledbetter, the ball carrier.
They keep them honest. And I got to tell you right now, we have a rare treat for you folks. After this play, we're going to come on camera and show you this Malik Washington, 2nd and 11. Great time for him to show his stuff as possibly one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. But we're also joined by a great quarterback himself. Here's Washington back to pass up the middle and not able to be hauled in. And with that, let's jump on camera here real quick, Brent, because we got Danny Crowley. We talked with Coach McGregor, and he absolutely loved Danny Crowley and your time at Dematha. But then it went on from there. Brent, go ahead. Introduce him.
He's a Hall of Famer at Dematha. Former Towson Tiger, played in the CFL as well. Of course, Dan Crowley. We talk about great quarterback play so far in this first half, man. We have got 2 fantastic QBs on the field.
This quarter, I'm waiting for both of them to explode, right? Here goes Malik. The athleticism is amazing.
On cue.
And he's full speed. And it's terrific, right? He sees the opening, he jumps through the right tackle, and he's gone for 15, 16 yards. It's tremendous.
And I know you were down in that end zone when he scored the touchdown. If it were two-hand touch, he still would have scored.
So how about that? This is an easy little fade to the left side. No problem. Regroup, get to the end zone, and sees an opening to the right, and he walks in the end zone. Just athletic and smooth.
Dan, it's only been a couple years since you played high school football, right? Just a couple years.
Yeah.
This atmosphere, over 3,000 fans, does it take you back? Do you get that feeling again of how special high school football is?
Of course. You know, and one of the reasons why I wanted to be down in the end zone was to watch. I just wanted to watch the atmosphere. And like you said, Brent, 3,000 people. This end zone over here that Spalding's going into right now, it's dark out, but you can see they are 20 deep on this hill.
Washington with a completion of the left side and really well run.
Yeah.
Great run after catch. We're up here in the booth joined by Danny Crowley. You played in the CFL. how much more exciting is this than playing in the CFL?
Guys,
Be honest with me.
It's not even about the CFL.
Okay.
This is the DMV. Yeah. This is the best high school football in America.
Love it.
Period.
Yeah.
Right here.
Danny, coaches kind of downplayed it a little bit. But this is the MIAA-WCAC. I do think there is a sense of a rivalry when you get the conferences, a little bragging rights maybe. And I think the WCAC is as good as it gets. But on a night like this where you had 2 games going against conferences, there is something to play for. Is that right?
There always is. And again, the beauty of today is that we're in the DMV, and it's not all just about the WCAC. We've got other conferences. We've got other players.
Right.
Malik Washington is a specimen. This kid, look at how big he is standing in the backfield. I mean, it is amazing to see, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him that he's playing in this conference and not our conference, because it allows us to come play these conference rivals in the first game of the season.
And experience something like this. Here's Washington back to pass, throws the corner fade.
I mean, what a throw.
Diving, incomplete.
What a throw.
So close.
Danny, that's a perfect throw, right? That's the only place you can put it for your receiver to get.
And he tried his best to look him off, and then he realized, I got to put this thing out there. And being on the left hash, he had a lot of room to work with on the right, and he threw it that right pylon, and boy, did he almost hit it.
I wanted to ask you, too, because we got a bunch of players on this field now that are going to go to Maryland, play in College Park. You know Coach Locks as well as anybody. He's got a special group of kids coming from the high school in Maryland going in to play for the Terrapins next year.
Yeah, so, Coach Locks and I go back a long way. 32 years ago, I was a freshman at Towson State when he was a senior. And I spent some time with him over the last couple of seasons. And his message is always about recruit the area. And he made that so clear in the last 2 seasons since I've been down there. You've always got coaches that recruit different areas. He told the entire coaching staff, you're all responsible for recruiting this area. You guys are all responsible.
I mean,
if we don't win this area, we don't win football.
Right, such rich talent. You got to keep it home.
Yep. I just listened to the game today. I watched a few series today, and I think there's twins from Spalding that are on the turf, right? 2 freshmen. They're on the field together. I mean, it's tremendous, right?
Yeah, you already have some Spalding kids there. You got Malik Washington. You've got Delmar White. You got Jaden Ships, and of course the running back Bud Combs at Dematha. I mean, that is just awesome that they're getting the quality kids out of the Maryland high schools, and certainly what we're seeing in this game is pretty great.
And here he is, Dan Crowley, folks, just so we can identify and make sure. Brent Harris, Booker Corrigan.
I'm really here. Yeah.
By the way, he laughed at me earlier. I said Towson State University, and he started laughing. I said it was Towson State when you and I were there.
It's TSU, baby.
That's right.
It's TSU all the way. There might be some name changes, but there's nothing like TSU, right? We made the program what it is today 30 years ago. And Mike Loxley was on that team, so
it's amazing.
Tremendous.
When I think back, there was a lot of talent on that Towson team as well.
Sure. I mean, Towson State went Division I in 1986, right? It's hard to believe how far they've come. And
Washington steps up again. Jitterbugs out to his left, reaches for the pylon, but no.
I think he was pushed out just a yard short.
Using his size, again, he leaked out the backside, got some room there, but after that, it's all about being athletic. And
what do you do here? 4th and 1.
Coach Crowley.
You got to go for it. You got Malik Washington.
Yeah.
Well, there was
showcase your talent.
In this series, there was a 4th and inches, and Malik Washington picked it up pretty easily with a QB sneak.
Yep.
Called it the brotherly show.
It's a long 1 yard. Showcase your talent. Use the guy. Put him in the shotgun and go. He's going to go hand it off.
Dematha's defensive coordinator, Dino Campbell, on his feet.
Offsides. Wow. Look at that. Little movement.
Procedure against
that changes everything.
That field goal.
4th and 1 to 4th and 6.
Dematha needed a break. Here we go.
And I want to get back to your time at Dematha with Coach McGregor and just your connection to him and how important it is for team sports and coaches and the kids that are involved and how much it helps them become the best version of themselves.
Yeah, it's a great point, Booker, and we always talk about it, and it's, hey, bring the kids in young. We're a family. Dematha's always a family. All these schools are a family-oriented bunch. I think Spalding's a great example of that. The baseball program's really good also here. We got Joe Palumbo, Dematha boy, head baseball coach. It's all about family. Bring the guys in, make them feel comfortable. You guys have got Dino Campbell, the defensive coordinator, sitting here in the booth with you from Dematha. Went to Dematha in 1981. He's still coaching here. That's what it's all about. Show these kids. There you go.
And now we have all sides of the defense.
Oh, boy.
I tell you what, you bring Danny Corralli in the booth, and anything can happen.
This.
Now they're going back to...
Somebody's got to throw a red flag here.
They don't have
There's no such thing. Oh, God. As long as it's still 4th down. See, this is when coaches take points off the board here.
Look at the crowd getting absolutely insane about this event.
Credit to Corrigan Sports, man. What a showcase today, huh? This is what it's all about. Programs together.
And Ravens Rise, Adam Riddell, Shabar Gray.
Oh, yeah, you got ballers here. How about that?
Yeah.
Should have Bo Braid here, huh? Local Maryland talent.
And now they're putting Malik Washington back in, of course.
Of course. Hey, still a long yard here.
It is a long yard.
This may be over the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
You know, I think Coach Dino's hoping for a quarterback sneak and stuff it right here. We'll see what happens.
We got Dino Campbell right next to us.
Right down the
throat.
throat.
Oh, I don't know.
Ball's out.
Ball came out. I didn't hear a whistle, and now I see one of the referees.
Line judge called down. Stop the forward
progress. That is a huge hit.
But also with that stop and with going for it, now Dematha has the ball on their own 1 foot.
Yeah, I think I caught it. You basically took points off the board, taking the field goal team off. So got to take advantage of opportunities, and what an opportunity here.
Wow. It's going to sting a little bit.
Nothing like 99 yards on.
Yeah.
Danny, going back to head coach Bill McGregor, I was saying to Book that his enthusiasm in year 33 feels like it's his first year coaching high school football.
Yeah.
This guy still has it. Over 300 wins, second most all time, the high school level. What makes that guy so special? And you know, he is a loved figure over there on the campus of Dematha.
He sure is, and I'm glad you guys brought that up because he is beloved. Here we go, coming out of the end zone, taking the shotgun.
And a keeper just to try and gain some yards.
Just
and I'll tell you what, Spalding will have none of that. He gained a yard.
There's really no wide receivers. Everybody's in the box. It's tough to run against 11 guys. So I think you got to spread them out a little bit here and try to hit a hole.
Throw it deep.
But Brent, hey, thanks for bringing up Bill. He's been tremendous for the Dematha family, not only in the championships that he's won, but just a figure in general. My father went to Dematha, graduated in 1965, and played for Morgan Wooten. Right, it just shows you that family atmosphere and aura that we try to bring. The coaches have been there for a long time. I talked about Dino Campbell. Coach McGregor's been there since the early 80s, and to have him back, he brings that presence that just brings everybody out.
And here goes Gardner again from his own end zone, deep in his own end zone, hands it off. Comes out again.
It was still positive yards, right? He got it to about the 2, but I'm saying that is he's pushed back, but he got it out.
So he brought the other quarterback in on that just to hand off. I was a little surprised by that.
Interesting.
I don't know if he wanted a read on that one to let the quarterback do something, but.
One thing too, Danny, that Coach McGregor, talking about 33 years, he left back in 2011 and then came back to the school, and we kind of know it's the only place he would ever coach, right? We know about Morgan Wooten. He had offers to coach Division I basketball, and he just loved the family atmosphere at Dematha. Bill McGregor feels the same way, that, you know, he's a legendary guy, that is just the only place I think you'll ever see him be.
It really is, and hey, let's go now.
Gardner, clear keeper at the left side, and they are
horse collar.
They got some business, and a horse collar tackle is going to tack more onto it.
3rd and 9.
Yeah, 3rd and 9, and 2:30 left here in this half, so plenty of time to put some points up.
There you go.
That's the voice of Danny Crowley, former Dematha quarterback, and went to Towson State, then played some time up at the CFL.
Really nice. Hey, it's incredible. The last probably 6 years, I've been traveling this week or next week. Those first 2 weeks of the season, normally you play out of state when you're Dematha in some of these big WCAC schools. I went to Las Vegas, California, Florida twice, and then back to California 5 years to go see the best talent, and now I get to come 30 miles from home and watch the best talent in the nation, right? This is what it's all about. Bill McGregor really put a stamp on these big matchups, and to have Spalding now in our home territory, to be able to do this is incredible.
Inside handoff, still trying to establish that inside game, and Spalding really not bending a whole lot in the interior line area.
Yeah, we talked about the really talented secondary that Spalding has, really tough to throw on this Cavalier defense. And we should give a lot of credit, too, to Kyle Schmidt, the head coach over at Spalding in his 12th season. He was the 2022 Ravens High School Football Coach of the Year. This is a guy that has really built this program. He looks over at Dematha and sees sort of the standard. They want that on this campus. He's done that. Two-time defending champs in the MIAA as well.
That's why this game's happening. It's because of Kyle, right? I know Malik is an incredible talent, but what Kyle's done here is tremendous.
A little stumble on the scramble, but he still finds a way to move the chain.
Real close. They're going to spot him just short. I thought he had it.
I don't like the spot, but
hey, he made a lot out of nothing right there. He was looking downfield. He had two guys over there to the left, and it's really the first time I've seen him take some time and spend 3 seconds looking downfield.
He made some chicken salad.
He did. I mean, that's well, now you got just over a minute now. Can't exactly take a shot on 3rd and 1, guys. Let's just get a first down and figure it out.
Yeah, exactly right, dude. Spoken like a guy who played the quarterback position quite well for a long time.
Yeah, I probably thought this game would be a little bit more high scoring, but hey, they've gone back and forth exactly, and defenses have really stepped it up.
God, he barely got it.
Timeout.
I don't think they're going to spot it as a first down. I think they may have gotten the stop.
I don't know.
This will be a really tough decision. What do you do, Danny?
Just
Coach McGregor, what do you think he's going to do here?
I'd call the timeout, maybe let it run down a couple more seconds.
You got one timeout left.
Yeah. Go get the first down.
Interesting to see. Are they even going to measure? No? I thought the spot was about a yard. Well,
clock continues to run as well. So
I know.
Maybe if they pick up the first down, then they use the timeout.
Run left, run into the boundary.
Oh,
he's going to talk timeout now. Oh, boy. What do we...
Now the clock's at 17.
Okay.
Gardner back, takes the high snap, run right up the center. He didn't get it. And that's going to give Malik Washington 7 seconds, 6 seconds with which to operate.
Okay.
And they're close to midfield, so you can't get a Hail Mary up. You can throw one down there close to the goal line.
So this is bringing back bad memories for me. 5 years ago at Navy Marine Corps Stadium, I believe, it was Gonzaga versus Dematha for the WCAC championship in late November. And at that time, there was a quarterback for Gonzaga. His name was Caleb Williams.
Yeah, he's a pretty good one.
So Caleb Williams was just drafted first overall. Caleb Williams threw the ball 65 yards in the air to beat us, and the ball hit the end zone, and Gonzaga caught the ball to win the darn game with no time.
Those kind of things will stick with you.
I mean, it's
Danny
amazing,
right away said, look, if this guy throws it up, I've seen it.
I mean, how amazing is that? Because a lot of people are comparing this kid Malik to the kid Caleb just 5 years ago. Again, DMV, man, the talent is amazing. I hope Malik can go on to have half the career that Caleb did.
Sure.
Yep, at Maryland would be great.
Yeah.
Let's go Terps.
Well, it should be mentioned, too, Kyle Schmidt, former offensive lineman for the Maryland Terrapins. You see that connection. Several players for the Cavaliers are going to be going over and playing in College Park, but that's part of it, the relationships, and you talked about that, Danny, why this game's being played with Kyle Schmidt, the relationships, and now that building of a relationship that you have in College Park with Coach Locks and some of the high school coaches around this state.
There's no question, and I really hope that is the case, right? I hope that Coach Locks has a piece of why this is happening.
6 seconds on the clock. They go for the quick out.
Quick throw, getting a couple plays here.
And 5 yards.
Still 2 seconds, so now
just got to, you got to,
5 yards closer.
You have to ensure that Malik can get the ball to the end zone. You got to understand the kid is only 18, so throwing the ball 60 yards in the air is not normal for most.
You talk about his physical attributes. What about the mental, Danny, when you talk about his poise, his composure? For a young kid, we forget he is only 18 years old, and running a sort of a pro-style offense. What he has done in his high school career, but the mental side of it is amazing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, over the last 10, 15 years, it's the coaches that have made the difference. The coaches, Coach Loxley's a great example. Coach Loxley's offense for the last 15 years, is a pro-style offense. He's teaching these young men in college NFL offenses. It's the same for these guys. These guys are being taught in this shotgun silent counts, clap, motions, right? Formations. It's all about formations and motioning every play. So when they get to college, they've already done it. It's second nature.
And here we go. 2 seconds left. Malik Washington's going to take the shotgun snack. He's going to scramble for a while to let his guys get down the field. And there he throws it deep down the left side. And it's going to be out of bounds.
Like I said, not easy.
All for naught.
Not easy. But a great first half. Exciting.
No flags on the play. Great time to thank the great Danny Crowley for stopping in and visiting with us in the booth. Thanks so much, Danny. It's great to look back at your time at Dematha, Townsend State, and then, of course, the CFL and all the things you've been into lately. So thank you. Love you, buddy.
TSU.
Townsend State?
Yeah, man. Townsend.
That's how Ronnie
There's
Clausen
two Z's in there.
Ronnie Clausen did say that.
Like to call it Townsend.
Guys, thanks for having me. Great job as always. Good job, Corrigan Sports, man. Way to go.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
It is halftime here in the high school football showdown. 7-3, Spalding over Dematha. Thanks so much. Second half coming at you.
On Wednesday, September 4th, girls flag high school football will kick off across Maryland. The Ravens and Under Armour sponsored initiative will launch in a coordinated first day of play for various counties and schools. Each of the 53 participant teams from Baltimore City, Frederick, Montgomery, and Washington counties will all be in action throughout the day. Ravens Entertainment will join the newest girls flag high school athletes, their coaches, and community in a celebration of the initiative as the beginning of the 8-week season kicks off.
This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. You're not the next Tom Brady. You're the next you. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who knows that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. Sincerely, Tom. You wrote this.
Yeah.
About your dreams, man.
17 years ago, just weeks before we were going down range to Iraq, I had a medic that was assigned to my personal security detachment, to my section, if you will, that would travel with me. 3 weeks or so before we were going to deploy, he slipped on some ice and he broke his ankle. Well, we asked the Army for a replacement medic, and they did not have one for us. My headquarters first sergeant identified another soldier in my battalion who's actually a chemical specialist, had nothing to do with being a medic. He sent him to a two-week emergency medical course. Because I was the senior guy in the organization, they were going to put this young man in one of my subordinate elements and take the medic for them and put in my platoon. And I said no. I said no, one, because of all the teamwork that had gone on to prepare us to deploy. I didn't want to break that up. But honestly, more importantly, I said if that young man was good enough for them and he's good enough for me, what was I going to say to them if I took their guy and gave him this new guy? So I kept him. I'd been to war 5 times. You know, you never suspect that something like this is going to happen to you. That's when I got wounded. And that young 19-year-old kid, he put the tourniquets on my legs. He saved my life. I would not be here if that young man didn't answer the call. I believed in him, that I believed that he was going to save my life. No. But I believed in him. And that's what being a teammate is about. It's really about belief.
Who has it better than us?
Nobody! When I think about that, I think about this team here. Whether every single one of you from last year's team was on this team, it would still be a different team. It's going to be a different fight. You can't fight the war from last year. You can't play the season from last year. This is a brand new season. Every day you have a chance to build on that. You can't coast. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable to being the best that you can be.
Yeah, this is all I'm waiting on right here. Come here, boy. Come here. Energy, boys, energy. Let's go, let's go.
The approach to the work never changed. As long as you still have that motivation and that drive to want to be better each and every day. And I think that's just been the mindset for me.
It never gets old. It's one of those things that you anticipate because there's all these sights, sounds, smells that just remind you that it's training camp.
Let's go, fellas. Nobody run through the defense, baby. Set your pads, baby. Make sure your pads work in 2024.
Oh, good. Blaster. Good job.
It's a physical league, especially playing in the AFC, so if I can keep my body strong, I think that'll keep me healthy. Just a reason to come in and take advantage of that. I'm like Batman. I like to work in the dark.
So your opportunity is now.
Just stay tuned. It's going to be exciting.
Everything that you do singularly feeds into you being the best player and the best teammate that you can be on your way to being a champion, on your way to being successful. And there's no doubt in this campaign, in this season, there's going to be trying times. There's going to be challenges, injury, defeat. That's all part of life. But do you have the fortitude? Do you have the understanding? Do you have the character that doesn't allow you to lose sight, doesn't allow you to lose your commitment and your focus truly on where it is that you're going and what it takes every single day for you to put this all together?
This fall, purple rises when the Baltimore Ravens debut their Purple Rising alternate helmet in 2024. The first ever Ravens alternate helmet features a metallic Purple Rising painted shell, making the model just the third helmet version to be worn by the Ravens since the franchise's 1996 inception, and the first non-black helmet. Don't miss the debut of the new purple alternate helmets on Thursday, November 7th, as the team takes on the Cincinnati Bengals in a division clash on Thursday Night Football. Tickets are available at BaltimoreRavens.com/tickets. The 2024 Baltimore Ravens Girls Flag Coach of the Week. For 10 weeks during the regular season, the Ravens will honor a high school girls flag coach who has made a significant impact on their student athletes. This award is in its first year of existence. All 10 Flag Coach of the Week winners will receive $2,000 towards their school's football program and be in the running to earn Ravens High School Flag Coach of the Year. The Ravens 2024 Girls Flag Coach of the Week program will begin during the week of September 6th.
The $6 meal deal is here. It starts with Dunkin's legendary coffee, a toasty, melty bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and a crispy, crumbly order of hash browns. It's kind of the biggest deal in breakfast. The $6 meal deal, available now.
For more than 25 years, the Ravens flock has rocked the bank, leading to an atmosphere that rivals any sports venue in the world. And last season, the NFL took notice.
Baltimore is the most underrated environment in the entire NFL.
I have never seen an environment like the bank.
Now, to ensure that it stays that way, the next evolution of M&T Bank Stadium has begun. Learn more at BaltimoreRavens.com/renovations.
Tap into the sports market with Corgan Sports Enterprises. CSE has put on hundreds of events throughout its history, and we possess the tools to give your company exposure in the sports industry. CSE has decades of experience helping great companies like Care First, Pandora, New Balance, and Toyota to put their best foot forward in the marketing space, as well as provide spectacular event management. Bring your dreams from conception to fruition at CorriganSports.com.
16 playoff victories, 2 coveted trophies, legions of devoted fans. And for 18 years, the Baltimore Ravens have chosen MedStar Health for their medical care. For generations, people across the region have trusted MedStar Health. We're proud to provide the same quality care to the Ravens and their fans, because there's power in trust. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
On Wednesday, September 4th, Girls Flag High School football will kick off across Maryland. The Ravens and Under Armour sponsored initiative will launch in a coordinated first day of play for various counties and schools. Each of the 53 participant teams from Baltimore City, Frederick, Montgomery, and Washington counties will all be in action throughout the day. Ravens Entertainment will join the newest Girls Flag High School athletes, their coaches, and community in a celebration of the initiative as the beginning of the 8-week season kicks off.
This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. You're not the next Tom Brady. You're the next you. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who knows that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. Sincerely, Tom. You wrote this. Yeah.
Baltimore is the most underrated environment in the entire NFL.
There's nothing like him on the planet.
We were on the mountaintop this year many times, and we were down in the valley. We all should be excited about where we're going and what we're building here.
Derrick Henry, the king is on his way.
Let's go. We are thrilled to announce that we've extended Justin Madubuike.
1, 2, 3.
This fall, purple rises when the Baltimore Ravens debut their Purple Rising alternate helmet in 2024. The first ever Ravens alternate helmet features a metallic Purple Rising painted shell, making the model just the third helmet version to be worn by the Ravens since the franchise's 1996 inception, and the first non-black helmet. Don't miss the debut of the new purple alternate helmets on Thursday, November 7th, as the team takes on the Cincinnati Bengals in a division clash on Thursday Night Football. Tickets are available at BaltimoreRavens.com/tickets.
You know, this might be the last time I'm gonna play football. You know, I started playing football in high school, you know, and that's where I got my dog in it. So for y'all, like, take this for like what it is, man. Go out there and really try to be a dog out there and beat them boys over there. You know, they don't got y'all. They don't got what y'all got. For. And if you take it like that, you're gonna thrash them. You know, do everything you can to make this, you know, meaningful. Look at that dub, right? You hear me?
This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. You're not the next Tom Brady. You're the next you. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who knows that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. Sincerely, Tom. You wrote this. Yeah.
The $6 meal deal is here. It starts with Dunkin's legendary coffee, a toasty, melty bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and a crispy, crumbly order of hash browns. It's kind of the biggest deal in breakfast. The $6 meal deal, available now.
For more than 25 years, the Ravens flock has rocked the bank, leading to an atmosphere that rivals any sports venue in the world. And last season, the NFL took notice.
Baltimore is the most underrated environment in the entire NFL.
I have never seen an environment like the bank.
Now, to ensure that it stays that way, the next evolution of M&T Bank Stadium has begun. Learn more at BaltimoreRavens.com/renovations.
Great to see the next evolution of M&T Bank Stadium with some of the upgrades they're doing there. Meanwhile, back here at Archbishop Spalding, they lead 7-3 over Dematha in the Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown. It's halftime, and this is the Cavalier Kickoff Classic. And right now, the Cavaliers doing pretty well. Booker Corrigan, Brent Harris joining you here at halftime as Dematha gets prepared to get back on the field. Here's your field goal. Sebastian Janikowski stepping in for Dematha to make it. I love Alex Amaya, 200-yard kicker. And then Malik Washington, if it were two-hand touch, he still would have scored.
Yeah, a lot of people here to see this superstar, number 4, Malik Washington. And it has been, for the most part, a defensive battle between Archbishop Spalding and Dematha, but the one big play coming right there from Malik Washington. You're talking about a guy that has over 5,300 yards and 64 touchdowns in his high school career. And in that first half, Dematha held him to just the one touchdown. Again, defensively, both schools, I feel like, did a fantastic job. But how do you start to open it up offensively? That's the big question that they were trying to answer at halftime.
That's the big question that all these fans are trying to answer also, because Denzel Gardner and Malik Washington are two elite-level quarterbacks, and the score's 7-3. So you have to tip your hat to the defensive coordinators and the defensive lines.
Oh, no doubt. Going into this game, we knew there was a lot of talent on the defensive side, but the headlines are, as you mentioned, the quarterbacks, the running back for Dematha, Bud Combs, the skill players that Spalding has, but it was the defense that really stepped up that was the difference in the first 2 quarters of this ball game. Now, a lot of the fans here thought maybe it would be a high-scoring first half. It wasn't. It's 7-3. Then, as they went in for halftime, the sky's open. We have had rain solid for the last 15, 20 minutes. We're hoping that it's going to start to dissipate, but at the same time, wet field, wet ball. You wonder what kind of offense we'll see here in the second half.
It's so awkward because we had a great visit from Danny Crowley, who's in the Dematha Hall of Fame as a great quarterback, and what a great time it was to share with him watching his old school play. But the weather was perfect. And then all of a sudden, we lose Danny. The halftime expires, and all of a sudden, it's pouring down rain.
Yeah, remember, too, this is our second game here today, and this is the first time we've seen any sort of rain flow in. Luckily, as we were looking at the radar, we haven't seen any lightning. They're going to be able to start here in the second half. It looks like this rain is going to move through, which is a great sign. Over 3,000 fans are here at Archbishop Spalding for this matchup. Again, Dematha is just about 10 miles down the road in Hyattsville, but fans from both schools, this place is packed for what is a top 5 matchup in the state of Maryland.
It's halftime here. Both teams have stretched out. We're going to step away for just a quick break, and then we'll be back with the start of the second half. This is Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown.
You know, this might be the last time I'm going to play football. You know, I started playing football in high school, you know, and that's where I got my dog in it. So for y'all, like, take this for, like, what it is, man. Go out there and really try to be a dog out there and beat them boys over there, you know. They don't got y'all. They don't got what y'all got for it. And if you take it like that, you're going to thrash them, you know. You know, do everything you can to make this, you know, meaningful. Go get that dub, you hear me?
Next game on September 13th, but we still have a half of football with some of the 2 best teams in the country and certainly in the state of Maryland. I mean, this is phenomenal work. Brent Harris, Booker Corrigan bringing you the calls. We see Dematha get ready for the second half. They trail 7-3. That's not much when you have the talent that they have. It's going to be a little bit of an odd second half because everything's now wet.
Yeah, you feel like, too, just one play could break this thing wide open, and it could come on special teams, but which defense maybe bends first, because both have been so good in the first half, and low-scoring game 7-3. You know, you have premier players and playmakers on both of these ball clubs on offense, and as we said, it just takes one big play to maybe turn the momentum in this ball game. And we'll see if the rain had any factor here at halftime as well. Still drizzling a little bit, but it's already a little lighter than it was about 10 minutes ago at halftime when it was coming down pretty hard.
And there's a telling sign. The kick doesn't even make it to the end zone in the first half. Every kick went deep into the end zone. So it's certainly, there's some conditions that have changed the game as Dematha will take over 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. As we see Ben Liguori getting set to play some defense, and now the Dematha offensive line.
Yeah, we'll see what Luke Casey is the offensive coordinator for Dematha. We'll see if they change up anything here in this second half. They like to go downhill. They like to control the clock. They were unable to really do that in the first half. Do they try to open it up a little more here in the second half?
I can also report that we did not lose a lot of the crowd during the rainstorm, and many of them are now filing back in, but not many of them left. There's still a good 2,500 folks here as the whistles blow before Gardner's able to send a little pitch on a left sweep. Violation will stop that. And procedural violation against Dematha will back them up 5 yards. So now 1st and 15 for the Stags. In white, Spalding in red. Gardner gets the handoff, looks down the right sideline, tucks it, and now he's going to have some room to run. He does get up the left sideline, and now we're going to illegal block, it looks like, as he is knocked out of bounds.
Going to come against Josh Parker, the wide receiver. The junior just held on to the jersey a little bit too long. And again, it was right in front of the referee. They're not going to miss that call when it's just a couple of yards away.
I like it when you say just a little bit too long. And there it is. There's the holding call. So it looks like it's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So already here, early in the second half, a couple of penalties against Dematha, and you want to have a clean game the rest of the way. We talked about only maybe one big play could change the momentum, and a couple of mental mistakes can change it the other way for sure.
Time for Dematha to break the huddle as they now face 1st and 14. And some good plays in their bag of tricks, but they're going to need to make something happen here on this drive. Gardner shotgun comes to his left. Drops back, quick flick of the wrist out to the right side, and here's the slippery ball context.
Right through the hands of the receiver. It was a quick sidearm flick from Gardner, wide open behind the line of scrimmage, hoping maybe to pick up some yak yardage on a completion, but the ball again slippery, went right through his hands. Tough to catch.
LeVar Keys. And I'll tell you, for those of you who weren't with us in the second quarter when Danny Crowley was in the booth talking about the family at Dematha and his connection to Coach McGregor and all the coaches, it was something special to hear him regale on the moments that he shared with them, and didn't bring up wins and losses or yards.
Well, that's one thing too. When you're at Dematha, you don't have to say it out loud, but I'll say it: 24 WCAC championships in football.
That's true. When you are Dematha, you don't have to bring it up.
You don't have to brag when you're Bill McGregor and you have the second most wins in high school football history in the state of Maryland.
It is now 3rd and 13 for the Stags here. Early third quarter action. The rain seems to have subsided, but yet it did have an effect on everything out there. Gardner, nice pass down the right sideline for the first down. Wow. When he sets his mind to it, he can really put the ball where he wants it.
Yeah, just wide open down the far side, and LeVar Keys, that's a great route. Put his foot into the dirt just about a yard or two past the first down marker, comes back to the football. That's what you teach young wide receivers. You got to come back to the football. He did that, and it was on money. The timing of it for Denzel Gardner releasing and getting it there just as he comes out of the break was perfect.
Marshall's got themselves a keeper in Mr. Gardner. And now we have pre-snap whistles.
God, the funny thing, too, is, look, we talked about this in the first half. LeVar Keys runs a 4.33 40. Great athlete, right? He can beat you deep down the sideline. So as a defender, you got to back off a little bit. So when you're a good route runner and you have speed, so you already have a defender on his heels, when you dig in and come back to the football on a button hook or comebacker, you're going to be wide open, and they can take advantage of that for sure.
And Gardner certainly knows how to throw that ball quite well. Here we go, now 1st and 15 after the procedural violation. Gardner keeps it, throws deep down the left sideline, and that is easily interference.
Good call.
That's too bad. That's just a guy who got turned around, and by golly, dadgummit.
Yeah, Trent Gillis was there defensively, but, give a lot of credit there to Darryl Carey, who started to look for the football way before the football had even gotten there. The defender, I think, panicked a little bit and tried to get his hands in there, but again, he was too quick, too early on the defensive play.
There's the replay of the interference, and he clearly just took him out.
I thought Carey sold it a little bit, that he was about to go up to get the ball a little bit before it actually was thrown.
And now 1st and 10 for Dematha from their own 45. Third quarter action, they trail 7-3 in a remarkably low-scoring game. Gardner keeps, he's running left the whole way, gets around the edge, and just gets tripped up after gaining about 5 to 7.
Jaden Ships, big time tackle there, flying in on the near side.
And they're going to spot it as a 2nd and maybe 7 now with where he went out.
Jaden Ships, number 7. He's one of those Maryland commits, a 3-star corner. By the way, picked the Terps over schools like Boston College, NC State.
Coach Locks winning the DMV. Gardner fakes the handoff, and he goes deep down the center of the field, has a man open, catch down at the 6-yard line, and there you go. Dematha, you said it. They can explode at any time.
About 50 yards on the pitch and the catch, and what an arm. Denzel Gardner aired it out, and it was on a dart.
Is that a 6 or a 5? Son, oh, it's the...
4-year starting quarterback. We know what kind of leader Gardner is, and we know certainly the physical attributes, and absolutely unloads one deep downfield. He had his receiver by about a step or 2, but that ball was thrown on the money. Well thrown.
And they now get in 1st and goal, and they marked them down at about 8. Motion to the left. Snap, Gardner keeps the whole way. And a dog pile leads him down to the 2-yard line.
You know, it's interesting, too. They do not run Denzel Gardner a lot on design quarterback keepers like we just saw there. So when they do run it, it's a bit more of a surprise. Although he can be a dual-threat quarterback, they don't expose him that much in the running game. That time as he runs it, I feel like kind of kept Spalding off balance a little bit as he found a pretty big hole.
Wasn't big enough for him to get to the end zone. But they definitely have that Dematha offensive line. They have some slobber knockers down there, and he's going to follow him this time. They take the shove, and he's down before the goal line.
And just short. Yeah. I mean, he is a half yard from scoring. So big 3rd down now.
Huge 3rd down.
I think you need touchdowns, not field goals at this point, especially with just such a low scoring game through 2.5 quarters.
Quite surprising.
A little more bunch formation.
And here he goes again. Gardner with the keeper, gets popped once and then advances, and he's in for the touchdown. Dematha Stags take a lead here at Spalding behind their quarterback, Denzel Gardner.
Really great second effort on that play.
And now the referees are coming together. I've seen faster hands at Texas Hold'em down at Ed's Tavern with my man Andy dealing and my buddy Nemo raising the bet.
Looks like it's going to go against Spalding. And it is.
Can I say Sebastian Janikowski one more time? Please.
He does remind me a lot of the one-time NFL Pro Bowl kicker, Sebastian Janikowski.
Alex Amaya is the kicker, left footer, and he's 6 foot 200.
And a powerful leg. I mean, this is a guy that can kick 50 or just over 50-yard field goals at the high school level.
Crushes.
It's a nice luxury to have as well when you know you're going to convert extra points, especially in high school football. Book, that is vital to know that you can tack on those points after touchdowns.
And so many teams, they don't have that luxury, and they just have to go for 2 every time. The defense knows it's coming, so it's You lose that surprise element. There's a replay of the touchdown, and you see him just the second effort his way in there. What a grinder. Denzel Gardner. He can definitely motor a team, and he can motor them with his legs or his arms.
So far, this has been back and forth. Dematha had the first points with a field goal, and then Spalding answered with Malik Washington's touchdown run in the first half. Great crowd on hand for this matchup. And two powers, the number 2 ranked team in Maryland in Spalding, the number 4 ranked team in Dematha, and then Dematha coming back here in the second half. Midway through the third quarter, Gardner's touchdown puts him up 3. So this has been close throughout this ball game.
Oh, and we had an unsportsmanlike
that was after the touchdown.
Yep. So now Maya is going to kick it off from the Spalding 45.
Wow.
And I
this one, where did you park? Because this one could definitely land over in the parking lot.
If I'm the coach of Dematha, I go on sides.
Well, Spalding has all their players up front. You've got
I go on sides.
8 players within the 10 yards.
Yeah, it's going to land in my
kicks
car.
Away. And right off the hood of a Corolla, and that is Booker Corrigan's car, and the alarm is going off.
I drive a GMC Pacer. I bought it off of Wayne Campbell. But it came with a cassette tape of Bohemian Rhapsody in it.
So it's a lock. You're going to take that car home.
Wayne Campbell.
He knew what he was doing, that salesman.
And the next song on the cassette tape is Foxy Lady with Garth. And here we go. Malik Washington back in the game, the guy we came to see in one form or another. And he has certainly come through in a number of different ways. He's in the shotgun formation. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Quick flick of the wrist. God, does he make that look easy? Completes the pass to number 84, John Jupe.
Well, it looked like he was trying to throw to the outside receiver, but he flicked it the last second. You know, we see Patrick Mahomes do that all the time, looking off defenders.
Quick handoff, run to the right side. Ledbetter gains yards. Antonio Ledbetter, not to be confused with David Ledbetter.
You know, Antonio Ledbetter last year, just 185 total rushing yards. He went over 100 last week. He goes from a backup to really the starting role this season.
He is the workhorse right now. He gains another 5 right there on that play. And again, we are in the coach's booth here with the Dematha defense. We can hear all the calls.
Yeah, Ledbetter, the junior running back, went over 100 yards last week in his first opportunity as a start in the backfield.
Jupe goes in motion, then picks up a great block on the inside. And that's going to be a first down. Ledbetter, I'll tell you what, Eddie Vedder somewhere's going to come out of here and start singing Ledbetter for us. This is beautiful, the way he runs the ball. Power, down, he runs downhill. I know it's flat, but he's going downhill.
Well, Coach McGregor said they want to go downhill right now. The offense is doing that for sure for Spalding.
10-7 your score, and there's Ledbetter pounding it down the hill.
You know, this might be the last time I'm going to play football. You know, I started playing football in high school, you know, and that's where I got my dog in it. So for y'all, like, take this for, like, what it is, man. Go out there and really try to be a dog out there and beat them boys over there, you know. They don't got y'all. They don't got what y'all got for it. And if you take it like that, you're gonna thrash them, you know. You know, do everything you can to make this, you know, meaningful. Go get that dub, you hear me?
And we are back. 1st and 10, Malik Washington, the best quarterback possibly in the country, hands it off on the inside, gain of a hard 2 for Antonio Ledbetter. And so far, to see Spalding with only 7 points on the board it doesn't capture the level of talent that Malik Washington really has and can put on. When he puts on a show, it's highlights. With a lineman falling out of his stance.
Right tackle fell over. Yeah, give Dematha's defense a lot of credit. Defensive coordinator Dino Campbell, the Dematha alum. They've really played well up front. They've disguised a lot of what they're doing. They've shown a lot of different fronts. I think Malik Washington, we're talking about the mental game as much as the physical game. I think he's seeing a lot of different looks from Dematha's defense. It's made it a little bit more difficult. Now, on this drive, they're starting to run the ball a little bit. And we'll see if they can continue that. But winning up front is going to be huge.
We got the defensive coach, Dino Campbell. And here comes Washington. Deep down the left sideline, has a man. If he gets it, he got it. Oh, what touch on the ball. I got to be honest, Brent. The touch on that ball was phenomenal. The catch by number 17, Miles McAfee. And here they go. They're going, hurry up. Because they know what they have. They know when they have Dematha scrambling. Washington hands it off inside. How about the touch on that throw, Brent?
It's great touch, but I also want to point out that Miles Scrap McAfee did a great job of selling the ball falling on the inside of the receiver, and then at the last second went to the outside. He really kind of tricked the Dematha corner into thinking that the ball was going to be underthrown, and then the last second knew the ball was going to be to the outside and close to the sideline. Great job by the receiver to sell it.
Great connection between Washington and our guy Scrap. Great play right there by the Dematha defensive line, and they celebrate accordingly because they really did just jam up the run. 6 and 8 getting together.
And you like to see
Minnis and Noah Chambers.
Big time numbers, right? Chambers and Minnis meeting at the same time and hitting the ball carrier.
And Brent, I have to confess to you, defensive linemen who wear a single-digit number, I have an affinity for them. I think it's just awesome.
They look quicker. I feel like they get to the ball fast.
Washington outside on a down and stop. I think that was Scrap. Was that Scrap again?
It was, yep.
Scrap's got a game.
Yeah, 3 touchdown catches last week in that win. Season opener for Spalding, beating Archbishop Hoban up in Ohio. #1 team preseason in Cleveland. Hoban, big win for them to start the year.
And here we go again. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Antonio Ledbetter. Can you feel it? And Spalding surges back into the lead. And Brent, let's think about that entire drive as they line up for the extra point, because that was a statement. Late substitution. Number 24, Zach Philpott, coming in to help out with the blocking. Extra point, kicks up, kick, hits the VIP, folks. They're still having a great time. Corrigan Sports Enterprises has done an amazing job of putting this event together. Spalding, an amazing job hosting it. And the Ravens, of course, Adam Riddell, Shamar Gray, my guy Pedro. How much they've done is just amazing.
Yeah, Spalding to start that drive, really doing a great job up front and kind of dominating the offensive line. Then they went to the air. They had a couple of really big throws down on the far side, picked up some chunks of yardage, put them in position, and then they pounded in with a run. So what they were able to do on that last drive was kind of keep Dematha on their heels, having them guess a little bit, right? First time today we've seen them mix and match offensively that had Dematha guessing.
And now we get back to the ensuing kickoff. And like I said in the first half, Brent, the first half kickoffs, every one of them went in the end zone. Now all of a sudden they can't kick the ball. That tells you what the elements, the moisture, the rain that fell, whatever it is, we're now seeing returns. Which NFL notwithstanding, it's an exciting tournament.
Wow. This whole change of the kickoff rules is going to be interesting. And we've got a little
this
pooch.
Is not even close to. They know they can't kick it out of the end zone. A great return effort this time. Dematha still making moves It's Eli Best. Go on and make yourself a statement, son. Eli Best with the return.
And Dematha is going to have their best field position here tonight, and a chance to maybe take the lead back. But
and hopefully
the
we'll
offense
get
for Dematha has been on the sidelines for a little bit. We'll see what adjustments they've made.
Hopefully we get a replay of some of the moves he made. Because he lost tacklers faster than a Kardashian can get an NBA player in a limousine. Here we go, Dematha offense. Here's the replay. Watch this. He's losing tacklers. It's boom, sheds a tackle. Boom, makes a guy miss. Boom, starts grinding. And then helmets are flying off. And now we're back with Denzel Gardner. It's not often that he's the second best quarterback in a game. He is amazing. Oh, great play by the defensive line. All of them. That's Spalding. Zach Philpott, the junior, comes up and makes a play.
Yeah, very physical up front. This is a run-stopping group. Coach Kyle Schmidt told us they really pride themselves on stopping the run. Again, they play a 3-5-5, so they feel like the three guys up front can really get the job done.
Gardner holds, looks deep, tucks and goes left side. What a great poised athlete he is. Now that I don't think that's anything.
It is definitely slippery over there.
It's slippery. Nobody can do anything. The Spalding guy got run over. I apologize for him being run over, but I don't know that there was a foul committed. And that they should throw a flag when a foul's committed. In my opinion, there was. Here it is. Here's the end of the run, Brent. You tell me. Here he goes. Steps out of bounds, and then that guy's just kind of standing there. And you're like, they both tried to stop doing what they were doing.
Well, you know, too, in football, if you're on the sideline, you got to have your head on a swivel.
How many coaches have had their knees pulled out because they're not paying attention? So, no foul committed, no foul called. 3rd and 5, big play for, fumbled, when he goes down to get it. Oh, it's such a bummer for Dematha on that because it's just a hair of a bad snap. And it costs him 8 yards.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 now, 4th and almost 12. Yeah, big difference on that one miscue.
Yep. And it's going to be the punt squad. Alex Amaya, the kicker and punter. And you can tell the respect they're giving him. The Spalding return guy is at his own 14-yard line.
Yeah, he's a good 42, 43 yards back.
Yeah, that's what pro returners do, isn't it? Perfect snap, booming kick. Comes up to get it, and it's
bad bounce.
Take a terrible bounce. Takes a huge Spalding bounce. And it's 14-10 Spalding, and Malik Washington fresh off a beautiful drive where they executed every time they had to, and even sometimes when they were just gravy.
Yeah, the big thing that stood out in that last drive for Spalding was the balance. They had success running the football. They had a couple of big pass plays down the far side with McAfee, and then they end up punching it in on the ground. But very balanced offense.
Scrap McAfee done a great job this season, being Malik Washington's favorite target. There's a quick pass, down and out to the aforementioned. It's almost like you and I know what we're doing every day.
Yeah, and, you know, McAfee, if you look at the formation book, 3 wide receivers to the right, and they put McAfee out by himself. Yes. They feel like he can beat the defense one-on-one, and that is what he has done here tonight as well.
And he knows when to break off a pattern and just take what the defense gives you. 2nd and 4. Washington, quick pass to his right. Oh, what a great spin move. A little spinorama like Dale Hunter at the blue line. That play by Aaron Guibe. We haven't seen a lot of Guibe.
No. And he's a guy that we highlighted early in this ball game.
He's a stud.
Junior wide receiver. He's already had offers from Toledo and UCF. Last year, over 700 yards and 8 touchdowns receiving.
1:20 to go, third quarter. Inside throw. Early contact, but I am not an official. So my opinion means nothing. No flag. And it's now a situation where Malik Washington tends to excel. Second and 10, 1:14 to go. Just the third quarter. A lot of great football in front of us. Washington looking deep. Just lobs it. He put too much touch on it.
Yeah, it was right by the first down marker, and the receiver was open, but as they tried to lead the receiver there with the pass, was just a little bit too much air on it.
Here's a replay of it.
Yeah, kind of threw his hands a little bit, but he had already started his dive.
Into each one's life, a little rain must fall. Washington now 3rd and 10. Gets a motion to the left side, deep. Now he throws a screen to the right, and the ball gets batted, tangled, bounces, bobbles, and that'll bring up 4th and 10.
Right, they had a chance for a big play there. Had 2 linemen out in front of Ledbetter. If he completes that pass, he's got a chance to go a long way.
There's a little just dropsies and deep punt. They let it go, and that's going to cost them. Wow. Well, even if he had fair caught it, they'd be in the same place.
But a good bounce we saw on the last punt. It really took a huge Spalding bounce. That time they took a Spalding bounce as well as kind of checked up. It was a little pitching wedge from about 80 yards out
for you,
just on a stop.
Yeah. So let's go back, Brent, to this replay of the fumble from in the first half. He's stopped. I don't know where that ball. If they could run that one more time, how does that ball get to where it was? If he when's it out? Oh, he pulls it out. Okay, so his knee was down, but they pulled it out almost simultaneously. That's
big plays, and sometimes it's just inches, right?
Yeah, here it is. His knee is not down yet.
But also forward progress, right? Once forward progress is stopped.
Progress. But great work by our crew. Thank you so much for our director, Chad Edwards, doing that one. And, of course, the great Ryan Corrigan. And, of course, the associate executive producer, Blake Corrigan, doing everything he can to make it a great broadcast. Dematha on 1st and 10. They force it up the middle. And, again, my main man, number 24, Zach Philpott, the junior defensive lineman.
2nd and 10.
And we talk about the great offensive players. There's 4 D1 players in the secondary for Spalding.
Yeah, solid defense. It makes it tough to throw the football.
That can make things tough. Denzel Gardner, shotgun. Looks to throw right. And receiver slips on his break. And that's going to bring up a rough down in distance from where they are. Good look at that.
Yeah, backed up in your own with your back to the end zone. I think it's okay at this point to be a little more conservative on a 3rd and 10. And
I love the coach that wears the wristband that the quarterback's wearing. It lets you know everybody's on the same page, we hope. Washington, shotgun, back into his own end zone to throw. Eludes the rush, and now he's going to have to run it. Tucks it momentarily, doesn't get the
about a yard short.
About a yard short, yeah.
There is a flag on the play.
And there's a flag.
Interesting. Very interesting. Referees come together. And I think they may just say, we're going to let the quarter run out. There's 3 seconds left in the third quarter.
Goes against Dematha. And really, when you look at the mental mistakes that we have seen in this half, it has all been more on the Dematha side.
And for our viewers at home, we are literally in the Dematha defensive coaching booth, which is great because they're amazing people. It's a memorable day. And there they go. They let the third quarter expire. We'll be back on the other side for the fourth quarter, 14-10. Spalding at home. Ravens high school football showdown. Amazing, great night.
November 2nd, 2024. Join us at the Ocean City Running Festival and experience a race like no other. The sights, the sounds, and the energy will keep you motivated from start to finish. Just choose your challenge, a marathon, half marathon, 8K, or 5K. Then celebrate your run with Hoop Tea, Michelob Ultra, and Food Line refreshments at our post-race party. Don't miss out. Register now at ocrunfest.com.
Hey Ravens fans, subscribe to the Ravens official YouTube channel for analysis, interviews, press conferences, and exclusive Ravens Wired content.
Agent Zero, operator.
You can't get anywhere else. Visit youtube.com/Baltimore Ravens to follow and subscribe.
Lace up Baltimore! Join us on Saturday, October 19th, for the return of the Baltimore Running Festival, bigger and better than ever. Whether you're looking for a marathon, half marathon, 10K, or 5K, we've got something for everyone. Celebrate in your Under Armour Runners Premium and the exclusive Crack the Crab Finisher medal while enjoying some refreshments in the Celebration Village. Oh, wait. Register today at thebaltimoremarathon.com. Run your race. Celebrate Baltimore.
Fourth quarter action right in front of you. And Dematha will start the quarter with a punt. And Spalding with 2 return men. Oh, God. And the snap goes well over the punter's head. And no time goes off the clock as we are just at the start of the quarter. That's going to be a safety. That was an odd turn of events. And you talked about, some of the momentum of errors that have happened here in the second half. And it's still stacking up. And here's a replay of it. That snap. I'd like to think that Caldwell Jones from the old 76ers team could maybe snag that. For those of you who weren't that old, think, who's the new guy? For the Sixers. Wears the long pants. Played on the Olympic team. I can't think of his name.
Maxey?
No, he's great. Tyrese Maxey's awesome. No, he went to Duke. The big tall guy.
Oh, Embiid?
Embiid. Joel Embiid. Thank you. Joel Embiid could not have snagged that.
So you're just trying to think of somebody tall.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have gone anybody there.
I was going to say Will Chamberlain, but nobody knows who Will Chamberlain is unless...
Oh, that's old school.
Yeah. Will...
You also had a Kathy Bates reference earlier in this game, so old school kind of works for you. It's totally fine.
I could have gone Wilt.
But at least Dematha, even after another sort of mental mistake, bad snap, that it's still within one score. Right? It's still within a touchdown at 16-10, so it doesn't change a whole lot in the big picture, but you need to stop. Dematha is going to have to make a stop here against this Spalding offense.
Savea back, and they're going to kick it. A lot of NFL teams, after a safety, choose to punt it.
I think this guy's got probably a better kick, and it drives him all the way back to the 10.
That was from his own 20. Could have been 47, isn't it? Did he kick that 70 yards?
70 yards. The good thing, though, Book, we got an answer as to why they didn't punt.
Yeah. Brent, that's why I love working with you. You keep me on my toes. You help common sense have a lot of sense. I don't want want to live in a world where common sense doesn't make any sense.
Things are obvious sometimes for a reason, Booker.
Why am I the brunt of the jokes? It's okay. I still love you.
There's still 11:53 left. Things could swing in a hurry, buddy.
Washington hands it off, and Dematha's defense, despite Dino Campbell's opinion, they stacked it up pretty well right there.
Yeah, pick up of about 4 or 5 on the ground. And remember, too, keeping the ball on the ground, Booker, keeps the clock moving with a 6-point lead. Vital for the Spalding Cavaliers.
Washington calling out signals, trying to move around. He's trying to talk to Combs for a little bit. Fakes the handoff, gets it to Aguibe. And Aguibe gets, they're going to wind the clock.
Yeah, stacked up. He stayed in bounds. Which is just fine with Spalding.
3rd and 5 for the Cavs.
And there you see the referee going full towel on the ball. They're trying to help the players have as much chance to make plays, including the defense. You know. Malik Washington drops back to pass, quick release right through the hands again, and we get a turned ankle by David Ledbetter.
Comes up limping there. You know, one thing about this Spalding offense, we talk about a lot of the young talent. They lost over 1,400 yards and 17 rushing touchdowns to graduation last year. They had a dynamic duo of Curtis and Kaufman. That is a lot of yards, a lot of points that they lost, that they're going to try to figure out how to get some of that running offense this year with Malik Washington. And obviously, we've seen Antonio Ledbetter a lot today. Guys having to step up from what they had last year to this year. Things change in a hurry at the high school level. You graduate a couple of kids, it's next man up.
A great booming punt by Spalding, and Jacob Wallace does the right thing and fair catches it. And now we get a chance for the Spalding defense. They're going to make something. They're going to stall them just a little bit because you can't take your foot off the gas when you have Denzel Gardner at quarterback for Dematha. Great chemistry with his center, number 66, Aiden Smith. Shotgun snaps, perfect. And Denzel just slips on the cut. And Gardner.
Well, they're going to say he was down all the way at the 20. I thought it was more like the 22. But that's a no gain. They're going to put it.
I'll agree with you there.
Back a couple of yards.
And it looks like Gardner signaling for a little bit of a timeout. Something's wrong with his shoe. He's going to take it.
That's timeout, so that leaves Dematha with just one timeout the rest of this ball game.
Very surprised to see what he's going to do here. Because it's still 2nd and 10. But he signaled for the timeout. And he wasn't limping, but he was walking as if something was wrong with his cleat. The sides had broken, like blowout.
You get a equipment timeout. I think a referee can stop the ball game for that, but they decided to get a full timeout here and maybe reset a little bit.
And if you take the equipment timeout, the player probably has to leave the field for one down.
Yeah, we're inside final 10 minutes of this ball game.
You need Gardner.
Every play is vital at this point. 2nd and 10.
Number 30, Delmar White. And Gardner's back in. Taped up his cleat. He's ready to go. Shotgun 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Back to pass. Pocket collapses very quickly. Oh, that was not pretty. And just like that, Delmar White, one guy I just talked about, comes in and the Malachi crunch.
Yeah, Delmar White, the senior defensive lineman, 6'2" and 305 pounds. He is also going to Maryland. He is a Terrapin commit, but even bigger is this cat is a heavyweight wrestler, one of the best in the state. 54-4 is his wrestling record. You do not want to mess with this dude. He has power to spare.
No, you don't. And if you're a football coach and you can get a defensive lineman who also wrestles, he puts him atop the other guys. Pass by Gardner, finds a guy and unable to reel it in. And the slips just keep on coming. That one, Justin, excuse me. LeVar Keys. You see Gardner just flick it out there. He goes up to catch it.
In double coverage, you saw one defender go for the football and the other one go for the player. Smart play. You know, we've talked a couple of times about a talented secondary for Spalding. All four in the secondary for the Cavaliers are going to play Division I football. That is tall order. That is a tough, long day for Denzel Gardner.
It's a well-thrown ball right there by Gardner. He hit him in the chest. He went up and catch it. He came down without it.
Yeah, Jaden Ships, Sean Johnson, man, some of the best in that defensive backfield for Spalding. You know, we talked about the Malik Washington gets all the headlines. He's the star of the team. He's the guy going to the local college, right? He's going to be playing down the road in College Park for the Maryland Terrapins, and quarterback, the big sexy position. But what they've done defensively and what Kyle Schmidt has built here at Spalding on that side of the football has been just amazing, because this Dematha team, this is a very good offense, and they have kept them in check tonight.
Last time we had this scenario, we didn't get a punt off, so we'll see. The snap is absolutely perfect, and the punt is boomed high. It takes a brilliantly level bounce and fumbled out of bounds. Game of muckle going on the near sideline there. But to reset, Brent, it's the MIAA Spalding hosting the WCAC in Dematha. And Dematha's the big dog on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, 24 WCAC titles, and it has been a great team for a long time. They're ranked 4th in the state of Maryland, but Spalding recently has been an amazing team. Of course, Malik Washington helps. They're number 2 in Maryland. They've won 2 straight A-conference titles in the MIAA. They're off to a 1-0 start this year.
They're the new kids on the block.
In a lot of ways, they are. Is that pickup of just a couple of yards, but Archbishop Spalding went from more of a local football program. Yes. It became more of a regional football program. In the last couple of years, Booker, this has become a national football program. They went out week 1 and beat Archbishop Hoban in Ohio. Archbishop Hoban was the preseason number 1 team in Cleveland. 5 state titles in the last 9 years in Ohio. That is a hotbed of high school football. So they just beat a really good team to open. This has become a national type of program here at Spalding.
And Kyle Schmidt's done so much. Here's Malik Washington. He's done a little bit too. Oh, look at it. Looky.
That is fancy.
Sound the bell. School's in, sucker. 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers.
And inside the 20, we're in the red zone.
What did he lose? He lost a cleat. He ran half that without a cleat. Yeah, right there, he's lost his shoe. His right cleat's back at the 21-yard line. So good. So good.
Yeah, what Malik Washington has done over the last couple of years, 3-year starter, 22-3 as a starter.
Not bad.
He wins football games. We look at a guy just down the road for the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, and that's a guy that just wins football games. And, Malik Washington has closed the last couple of seasons with championships as well. So, pretty special player. We just saw that on that last scramble.
it's going to be 1st and goal after the penalty against Dematha from the 9-yard line, which actually gives Washington a lot of room with which to work. So he's got 19 yards, including the end zone, to operate. Hands it off inside. Power run from Ledbetter. He gets inside the 5. And the clock will continue to run as it's now a factor in this tremendous clash of conferences and great teams. Washington, again, keeps it. Skitters, a little flip pass. It's got to be jelly, because jam doesn't shake like that. That was beautiful.
And Malik Washington knew how special a play it was, because when he let that ball go and he realized that it was a touchdown, he turned around to the crowd and was like, I did that. That was amazing. Heads up play by Malik Washington, who pitches the ball into the end zone to find his favorite target, and McAfee's got a touchdown.
Scrap McAfee is the only guy who can catch that ball, just because of the way he threw it. And now it's a 22-10, so it looks like they're going to go for 2, which seems to make sense to me. There's Scrap. Split out wide to the left, a lot of motion. And the snap to Washington, he rolls right. Looks like he has a guy, a flag flies. Washington gets in. There's a flag in the interior, and you can look at the referee in the white hat, and he is going to motion holding against Spalding. So now you kick.
He might throw the football. We'll see how far back they go. So it's going to be about, what, from the 12 and a half yard line?
You kick. Remember when I told you I don't want to live in a world where common sense doesn't make any sense?
I haven't seen a kicker come out yet.
No, that's because they're sending signals
do you
down the sideline.
Do you want to pick up the coach's line up here and call down to Kyle Schmidt? Let him know?
Yes, I do. Well, we'll see what happens after this play, and we'll know who's right. I'll talk to Kyle Schmidt after the game and say you should have kicked. We'll see. Who knows?
12-point lead and trying to push this out to 2 touchdowns.
Washington gets the snap, looks quickly to Scrap, and flag flies, so now we're back.
Defender just was there way too early.
Scrap McAfee is
got into the face of the wide receiver. Jamonte Dance Anderson was, good aggressive play there, has his back to the ball, and so he engages just a little bit before the ball gets to the receiver. But Booker, when you get the back to the football, it is hard to get the timing right. You're trying to read the receiver in that time.
In between his hands.
Right, he had no shot.
So now it's from the 7, 8. Here's Washington rolling right, throws back to the left, screen pass, and Ledbetter, excuse me, that is going to be Cam Miller. And tell Coach Kyle Schmidt he and I are on the same page. Go for 2.
That was a well-designed play. The motion goes to the right, they come back. You leak a couple offensive linemen, you get it to your playmaker, and he's got blockers in front of him. Really a heads-up play there to get a 2-touchdown lead for Spalding.
There's the touchdown pass. He's so composed. He's so casual. He knows he has gifts. And that's what a great coach does. They communicate to a young man and say, listen, you have certain gifts, but you have to also be a leader. You have to be organized. You have to be mentally strong. And you have to make mistakes and learn from them.
Yeah, those last 2 plays, Malik Washington incredibly poised, running the offense in misdirection. The flip is just a heads-up play. That is an athlete making an athletic play. And then on the 2-point conversion, just taking the defense with him to the right, throwing back across his body, but always knowing that that play had the ability to have a nice, easy walk-in score on the 2-point conversion.
And the kickoff deep into the corner. But hold your nose, because here goes the cold water. touch. And they're going to throw a flag on that. That was Ben Gorey.
The flag is not on the hit. The flag came in way before the hit, but LaGoria, boy, laying some big-time wood on that one. He had a full head of steam.
Yeah. If you have little children watching the replay here, you might want to cover their eyes. That was substantial.
Now, the flag came in.
I can't wait to see it. Here's the replay.
A little bit before the hit.
Go. And he's running, he's running, he's running. Boom! We're going backwards. Ow. Oh. Like I said, this is big boy football.
We said LaGoria. LaGoria was the first there. It was Trent Gillis who delivered the hammer on that return.
You talk about putting your shoulder into somebody.
It's one of the scary plays, too, as a returner. He gets wrapped up, and he's not going down, so he has nowhere to go. He can't avoid the hit. He's kind of being held, and somebody else comes in right behind who with a big shot.
And I'll tell you, Brent, momentum's like the wind. You can't see it, but you sure as heck can feel it.
Well, you know,
and right now, Spalding has the momentum. Literally, the flag was against, and now that has to be against Spalding.
Way too many mental mistakes for Dematha. They opened this half with a couple of really bad penalties. They had a snap go over their head. They have made way too many of the mental mistakes that are going to beat you. As you talked about momentum, it's so hard to get momentum when those kind of things are pushing you in the wrong direction.
Denzel Gardner now with his heels on the goal line. Great blitz pickup by the... Oh, and that's going to be a safety. Ball comes out. It's already ruled stopped. They already blew the whistle. That's a second safety of the game. So whoever had the over-under on 2 safeties, they are now looking good. Second safety of the game for the Spalding defense.
Well, since Denzel Gardner had the touchdown early in the third quarter, gave Dematha the 10-7 lead, it has been all Spalding. They've got the last 4 scores in this ball game, and now have a 26-10 lead. And momentum clearly with the offensive team, and I got to go back to some of the mental mistakes that put Dematha in a really bad position. And you can't. It's hard to beat the team across from you when you're the team beating yourself.
And it was in the third quarter, very early, down at the other end of the field. They had a false start. They had another penalty. Then they had the hold on the great run by Gardner. He gains the first down, but the receiver held for just a little bit too long. That backs him up.
And Spalding has been poised throughout all of this. And you know, Malik Washington, the senior quarterback, has been terrific, but credit some of those skill players around him. We talked about a very young offense. Only one senior on the offensive line. No seniors across the skill positions. Those guys really stepped up. A great compliment to Malik Washington in this ball game. Ledbetter has been terrific, and what they have done offensively has been very impressive against what is a really good Dematha Stags defense.
And again, a lot of that you can trace it right back to Malik Washington and the way he leads the team in practice. Football's one of the few sports where you practice 5 times more than you play. And Malik Washington does a great job of challenging his guys in practice, making them better players in practice. Because that's the time to really make it happen.
Yeah, 7 minutes, 5 seconds, 16-point lead. I would imagine that Malik Washington, this offense is going to go to a heavy dose of running the football. I think we'll see a lot of Antonio Ledbetter here over the next couple of minutes.
And back to the point, like we all love NBA basketball, or whether it's NHL hockey or Major League Baseball. Does Major League Baseball have practice after spring training?
They have
batting practice.
Yeah, before games. That's about it. It's to your point. It's very limited compared to what you do in football. The game
football,
prep.
You practice 5 times more than you play.
Absolutely.
And evidently, Malik Washington does a great job leading. Oh goodness,
Yeah, big dose of Ledbetter.
Dose of the run, and Ledbetter rambles for about 37 yards.
You know, Ledbetter over 100 yards last week. I think he is there as well this week. I think he's already surpassed his stats from a season ago in 2 games as a starter for Spalding. And, you know, sometimes players have to wait their turn. They have to learn from the seniors ahead of them. This kid, Antonio Ledbetter, who is a junior, did that last year and has really, in the first 2 games, had some breakout performances for sure.
And I think Kyle Schmidt even brought that up in our call and our conversations with him preparing for the game, where he waited his turn, but he's definitely in the best of his shot. Here he goes again. Big gain of 7.
Well, the other part of it is, too, we've talked about this young offense for Spalding. You know, Coach Schmidt told us that the win over Hoban last week was something that was really important going into this game because it gained confidence. They kind of worked through the jitters a little bit. They went on the road, kind of had to rally, you know, as the visiting team up in Ohio. Going into the second game, it was more of a comfort level because they had already been through it. And we've kind of seen that today. This is Dematha's first game of the season. For Spalding, this is their second game, and that can play a factor.
That can be a very big factor. That's a great point by you, Brent, that it is Dematha's first time playing a game. And you can challenge your kids all you want in practice, but there's nothing quite like a game.
And even a scrimmage. It's just not the same.
Ledbetter's going to check out of the game after a successful night. Into the game, number 84, John Juppe. Juppe, a junior tight end. And Spalding adopting the philosophy of allowing the play clock to wind as long as it can at this point. Oh! Don't know if that snap was intended for Aaron Igwebe.
Felt like maybe the snap was either a little quick or the receiver was a little late getting across in motion.
Interesting to see. I'm dying to see a replay there of.
Remember this?
Of what Malik's body language was. Like, is he ready for the snap, or was he expecting Igwebe to gather it? He motions one way. He comes back. Oh yeah,
I don't think he was late. I think he was early to come back. I think the snap had to clear before he came back across from the motion. Remember, this drive started just over 7 minutes. They've already burned 3 minutes on the clock, and so we got a timeout here, Spalding. But the offense working their way down the field, but eating up a lot of clock while they do it.
And they are eating up a lot of clock. 26-10. Spalding over Dematha. 4 minutes to go.
You know, this might be the last time I'm going to play football. You know, I started playing football in high school, you know, and that's where I got my dog in it. So for y'all, like, take this for, like, what it is, man. Go out there and really try to be a dog out there and beat them boys over there. You know, they don't got y'all. They don't got what y'all got. And if you take it like that, you're going to be thrashing, you know. You know, do everything you can to make this, you know, meaningful. Look at that dub, right? You hear me?
Great look at that schedule as we see Spalding back in action. Malik Washington, 4th down, and they're going to gobble up some time, and he's just going to comfortably slide. They get the first down, and now they can really run some clock.
Heads up play. You don't need a touchdown. You don't need another score. But what you want to do is just continue to eat up some clock. Yeah, in 2 weeks, Booker, we're back at it. It's Fort Hill and Dunbar. That game's going to be played over at Morgan State. And then on September the 27th, Oakdale and Ligonor. And that game is going to be at Ligonor. So we have a great schedule. And Girls Flag Football Championship again, which was just awesome.
And if you haven't seen Girls Flag Football, it's impressive. It's fun. It's fast, exciting. It is tremendous. It's a tremendous event. So I can't wait to end the season with that. Inside handoff, stacked up at the line. Maybe a gain of 2 or 3. And that was Chase Gorman, the senior running back. Chase Gorman getting some time. Love to see Coach getting some subs in. Kyle Schmidt doing just a great job building a program, and that's how you do it. You get guys minutes, get them reps, you get them snaps. And off inside, and again, that offensive line for Spalding is still pushing the pile the right direction.
Yeah, I'm sure Kyle Schmidt and this program have probably thought at some point, how do we replace Malik Washington when he graduates and goes off to Maryland? He'll be a Terrapin next season. But the fact is, all the other skill position, talked about the offensive line, just one senior graduates on the O-line. They will have a lot coming back next year. Filling the quarterback position, that's going to be vital. But the guys around him are going to help, and this is a young offense for Kyle Schmidt and Spalding.
And Kyle Schmidt's getting us so many guys reps at this stage. One of the great college coaches who did that was Bobby Bowden. And my Uncle Gene was commissioner of the ACC, and Bobby Bowden was one of his absolute favorite people. He would go watch him practice, and he'd be, listen, it's 3rd and 7. Sub 3 defensive linemen. Get him in there for that play.
I'll tell you a quick Bobby Bowden story. A friend of mine was, back when we were in college, was doing the college radio, and the Terps were going to play Florida State. And he called in, he said, it might be worth a shot. He calls down to Bobby Bowden's office. Secretary answers, says, hey, I'm going to be calling the game on Saturday on the Maryland student station, right? Just a student, senior in College Park.
I know where this goes.
The lady says, I'll give the message to Bobby Bowden. He hangs up, never expects a phone call or anything. About 3 hours later, Bobby Bowden calls back, says, young man, we've got about 30 minutes. What do you want to know? I mean, it's just a class act.
And that's why he was so good at what he did. Yeah. While we were digressing about Bobby Bowden, who, by the way, Hall of Fame person.
Oh, better person to coach, and he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Malik rolling out, throws a floater, and it gets picked off in the end zone by Dematha. Great play. Keep the ball. As we like to say in hockey, keep the puck. If you intercept Malik Washington, keep the puck. That was Jacob Wallace with the pick.
It's his first interception of the season. He had 4 touchdowns in the opener, 2 more here. Today's run 1 and thrown 1 in this ball game. Of course, had the 2-point conversion as well. So that is now 6 touchdowns on the season to the 1 pick he just threw.
Nice deep pattern. Bobbled momentarily, but harnessed. And Denzel Gardner still proving his worth for the Dematha Stags as Andrew Newman reels that one in.
The one thing we do know, bragging rights, MIAA, when it comes to the big powers, and these are 2 of the top teams in the state of Maryland. The MIAA tonight can walk off the field feeling pretty good about themselves as a conference, because this is a big win for Archbishop Spalding.
And again, it goes back to that. It's their second game. This is Dematha's first. So there's that little card that the WCAC could play, but this is a nice win for Spalding.
And you know, it's an absolute gauntlet for Dematha when you look at the schedule.
Yeah.
They lost in the WCAC championship last year to Good Counsel, a game that was 7-0 in the championship. But up and down the WCAC, you've got teams, not only best teams in Maryland, but some of the best teams in the country that are typically nationally ranked. And getting back to that championship game, that is going to be a big priority for Bill McGregor and the Stags this season.
Newman with another great catch. And as we like to say, Brent, hello, Newman.
It took us till the final 30 seconds of the ball game.
Well, you know, he hadn't made a play yet. I had that one queued up moments ago. I tell you what, Denzel Gardner is impressive as a quarterback for Dematha. Great athlete, reads defense as well, knows when to tuck it and go. And here he goes. Slides down, stays inbounds, 21 seconds. They stop the clock to move the chains.
The other thing is, we've got to credit both Dematha and Spalding for having this game, playing this kind of game this early in the season. We saw the college level, sometimes you get some really big matchups that first week. It's a long year, but really treating the fans of high school football in the state of Maryland to this matchup week 1 has been pretty awesome.
And the last pass drops to the ground, and Spalding will celebrate late into the evening as they find a way to get it done. And Kyle Schmidt, great coach. You talked about Coach McGregor for Dematha, great coach. Both teams couldn't be quicker, could not be faster to get to the middle of the field and shake each other's hands.
I mean, just class and a lot of respect. 2 organizations, 2 programs. That it is all about class. It's the first thing they teach them and coach them up on. These are 2 programs that are going to do big, big things this season. They've both got great quarterbacks. They've both got great coaches. These are 2 great teams. This is one game in a long marathon of high school football this year.
And both of these high school football teams have tremendous talent, challenging schedules, and gifted quarterbacks.
Oh. Malik Washington, he was all that and then some.
And of course, Gardner did his job as well, but Malik, the star of the show, as Spalding takes down Dematha 26-10. Ravens rise. High school football showdown for Brent Harris. I'm Booker Corrigan, reminding you, you only get one shot at today.